Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Attorney Glendale. Good morning. It's about 8:33 a.m. Today's date is October the 8th, 2012. We're here to review our legal report, motor vehicle legal report. We have Brother Bob Weaver in the audience, Attorney Myrtle. Welcome. Proceed.
Thank you. Again, this morning, this is the October 2012 legal report. And I'll go by case number that we have listed here. Number 1, 2012-012-012-351. Again, it's complaint alleged that respondent did not disclose the status of the vehicle condition before the complaint purchased the vehicle. Respondent stated that the disclosure was written on the bill of sales and it appears that the respondent was referring to the as is stated. The complaint did purchase the vehicle as is and signing as is stated. Recommend that we close this complaint for violation of part of respondent for disclosure of the vehicle condition. Number 2, 2012-018-221. Here the complaint alleged multiple mechanical issues with the vehicle purchase component, which the complainant felt the respondent was responsible for repairing. In addition, the complainant alleged that she never received title to the vehicle purchased from the respondent. Surety bond information from the respondent was sent by the office to the complainant. The respondent indicated that the complainant defaulted on third-party lending and received a notice of bankruptcy. They basically said that they were defrauded by the complainant since she filed right after purchase of the vehicle. I recommend that we close this complaint. Surety bond information is sent to the complainant, and these are contractual issues which are civil issues. And no evidence of violation on the part of the respondent.
Excuse me, Attorney, before we go to the next case, I forgot to recognize our committee. Commissioner Joe Clayton is here, and Commissioner Farrell Shape is here, and also Commissioner Pearl is here. So, we need to put that on record. It seems as though you and I were the only ones going to be hearing the cases. Thank you. You can proceed.
Number 3, case number 2012-012-001. This complaint came as a result of an inspection done by an investigator on about 25 June. And when the investigator reported that there were 2 open titles. However, the copies that the investigator sent to us did not have reverse sides of the title. They were not legible and did not show violations. I recommend that we close this evidence of violation. Number 4, case number 2012-005-001. Here the complainant alleged mechanical issues vehicle purchase from the respondent. An investigation was conducted. The complainant showed cooperated with the investigator, stating that he received a refund and not pursued the complainant further. Recommend that we close this information not contained in the complaint. Number 5, 2010-029-281. Here the complainant, which was a County Clerk, alleged the respondent was improperly using a motor vehicle dealer license to have a vehicle. An investigation was conducted. At the time of the investigation, the respondent had applied for a federal motor vehicle dealer license. The investigator interviewed several motor vehicle dealers and set salespersons along with the respondent. None of the statements from any of these persons showed consistent pattern of facts. It's unclear as to whether the respondent was authorized by the dealer to buy motor vehicles in the dealer's name. The dealer denied the relationship that the respondent stated he was authorized. The investigation found that the respondent had purchased vehicles on behalf of the motor dealership and was intending to open vehicles to sell to his new dealership, which he had applied for sponsors. The license application was never completed or issued, and no evidence that the respondent having sold any of the vehicles, either as an individual or as a dealer. The complexity of this complaint provides no further evidence of violation of the pursuit, and it's for a year and a half old. I recommend that we close with a letter from this morning. There's actually no evidence that he actually sold these vehicles on behalf of the respondent. He actually just purchased the vehicles, and it was unclear as to whether or not he was authorized to make the purchase for the dealer. Number 6, case number 2010-001-0891. Here, the complainant is County Clerk that alleged the respondent was selling motor vehicles as an unlicensed dealer. The investigation was conducted at the County Clerk's office to not have any proof of the unlicensed activity for the respondent and the investigator office. The location of the respondent did not provide proof of any unlicensed dealership. And responded, he was found, his decision that he was sold to motor vehicle, he could show recommended the close of the The next case, case number 7, I just do amend the complaint number because we do have to indicate it incorrect. And I'll state the correct complaint number is 2012-013-041. Here the complaint alleged that the respondent failed to deliver title after purchasing the vehicle 6 months ago. The complaint is out-of-state complaint. The investigation was previously conducted. The respondent indicated that title was not delivered due to inability to pay the report. That the respondent had numerous medical bills with his wife, and he was trying to pay off those bills and he not picked up. He actually led to the secretary business about liquidity time. The respondent has been sent a consent order on a previous complaint, which is outstanding, where he has provided more temporary tax than allowed. The complaint here in this case contains certain amount of information. However, we believe the respondent should not cancel the respondent has been required. I recommend that we close the flag to certain information. I'm not sure that there's more than the type of Number 8, case number 2011-003211. Here's the complaint. The complaint is actually an out-of-state seller. We provided a complaint regarding a vehicle he sold to a licensed salesman in Tennessee. The licensed salesman actually bought it. The vehicle was listed on eBay. The plate seller stated he did not realize the respondent purchaser was purchasing on behalf of the dealership. He was confused as to why he wanted the title to be put into the name of the dealership. This licensed dealership at this time is actually out of business and there's no evidence of violation. These facts happened in 2011, no violation. Case number 9, case number 2012-019-222 and 2012-019-221. Here the complaint provided information that the respondent was conducting in licensed activity. The respondent had been conjunction against him from operating motor vehicle dealers, operating as a motor vehicle dealer without a license. The injunction was the state's attorney general's office. File was turned over to the attorney general's office for review and further action, including filing an action for contempt. I recommend that we close this case with the attorney general's office and the full model. Number 10, case number 2012-009-611. Here the complaint alleged that the respondent conducted an unlicensed activity in non-vote. This man was recycled. Investigation was conducted. The complaint was interviewed. He provided no evidence of witnessing any unlicensed activity. The respondent was introduced and the premises were observed by investigators to show the signs of unlicensed activity. The respondent indicated that he knew the complainant and stated that they had a strained personal relationship. Government recommends that we close this case for violation. Number 11, 2012-015-331. Here the complaint is an attorney for a consumer who alleged that the respondent sold the complainant a vehicle that was previously flooded. The vehicle in question is a truck type model. The complainant alleged that the service contract was sold with the vehicle at the time of purchase. That the contract was rejected from the servicer stating it would not fix the problem because it believed the vehicle had been previously flooded. The respondent received a report from the servicer and inspected that the vehicle was previously flooded. The respondent requested the person inspect the vehicle to determine if this vehicle was flooded, indicating that they would find there was back and seek compensation from their side. A copy of this report was not provided to the commission. The vehicle title history does not show that it has a flood time or ever had a total claim loss report on it. As such, there was insufficient proof of any flood damage on the vehicle. I recommend that we close insufficient evidence of violation. Number 12, case number 2012-008421. Here the complaint is the purchaser who is a resident of New York, purchased a motor vehicle at a licensed motor vehicle auction via the internet in 2011. The complaint alleges that the motor vehicle sold as a salvage vehicle that the respondent failed to disclose that prior to the sale. Investigation was conducted. The investigation discovered that the motor vehicle had previously been wrecked and was entitled as a salvage vehicle. as a salvage vehicle, but due to a clerical error of the Department of Revenue, the vehicle was branded used instead of salvage. This was actually stated in a letter from the Department of Revenue showing that they made a clerical error. The vehicle did have a anti-theft inspection pass plate located on the door jamb, which is placed by the Department of Revenue, indicating that the vehicle is to be or was in fact branded as salvage. The respondent states that the vehicle was sold as is, but was co-signed by the seller, who never disclosed that the vehicle should be entitled to salvage. The title was not contacted during this investigation. There is no proof that the respondent had any knowledge that the vehicle should be titled under any brand over used, which was the title indicated at the time of sale. We believe this mistake was due to the error credible error on the Department of Revenue. I recommend that the board the violation of part of the respondent having knowledge that the vehicle should be branded as salvage. And to refer this complaint to the Tennessee Department of Revenue. Number 13, case number 20110395, 20110322. An internal complaint related to allegations of unlicensed activity in motor vehicle dealer on behalf of the respondent. An investigation was conducted to complain in 2011 related to a motor vehicle dealer application that was originally denied by the administration. The respondent's attorney was involved with the administration to clarify issues of license renewal related to this. The closure of an old dealership was also part of that, along with the opening of a new dealership. They're complex matters, and all the matters were clarified and resolved. This complaint should have been part of the original complaint that are now closed, and this respondent is not open as a business. It should be closed, recommended to close that this respondent is out of business and licensed under a different entity. Cleanup matter. Number 14, case number 2012-015-202, 2012-015-201. This is a complaint from consumer alleged respondent dealer illegally repossessed another vehicle after the complaint purchase is required. Copy of the bill of sale indicated the complaint was required to obtain full coverage insurance. The complaint admitted that he did not have such coverage and stated that he was not told he was required to do so. However, it was on the sales contract. Recommended close this complaint for a violation found. Refer this one to consumer affairs for the allegations of illegal repossession. Number 15, case number 2012-015-011. Here the complaint consumer alleged the issue of the new motor vehicle purchased from the respondent dealer. Complaint alleged an exhaust valve from the vehicle was taken multiple times and has not been repaired. Responded regarding the warranty issue is currently considered the manufacturer and accountable, and it could likely be a level law issue. I recommend that the close this complaint to a violation of the law of respondent. Number 16, case number 2012-011. Here the complaint of consumer alleged respondent dealer has delivered title to the vehicle that was purchased 10 years ago. The complaint states the respondent indicated he could not process the title because they do not have documentation to do so. The complaint did not provide proof of the purchase to us. So we sent the surety bond information to the complaint to that RF. So we posted the complaint to surety bond information. Number 17, case number 2012-012-016. Here the complaint consumer alleged the respondent dealer has disclosed prior to the sale of the vehicle that the title to the received was branded rebuilt. A consumer purchased the vehicle in 2011 states that he did not realize the brand on the title until attempting to sell the vehicle 2 years later. The respondent provided documentation showing the vehicle was purchased full cash, stating that the title was delivered to the complaint on the day of sale and that the title was branded was rebuilt, and also stated that this was made orally at the point of sale. I recommend that we vote this no violation of the county or otherwise. Number 18, case number 2012-012-0241. Here the complaint consumer alleged respondent dealer first breached the dealer breached warranty, and there was allegations of unfair trade practices and servicing and transmission on the used motor vehicle. The complaint received a new transmission but complained regarding the inability of the respondent to provide her with a motor vehicle. The respondent stated that this was not authorized by the warranty company, and in my opinion, case these matters right here of civil nature, all her allegations would be better made on the consumer protection act. I recommend that we close this and approve it. Number 19-2012-014, section 1. Here, the complaint consumer alleged that Bonnie Neal failed to explain the brand title to be delivered on the seized vehicle. The complaint states that the vehicle purchase had a rebuilt title, and in against the respondent stated that the vehicle had a previous salvage title. But she stated that what a salvage title meant was not disclosed to her from the seller. Specifically, she stated that I was told that they did have such title, but I was not made aware of why. Had I known the car had been told about, I would have known why. However, we know that we closed it from the violation. Vehicle brand was disclosed by the seller. Number 20, case number 20120120491. Here, the complaint consumer alleged that Bonnie Neal failed to provide title. The respondent stated that they accept the original title to be certified by the complainant, but that the complainant had moved, and now they're now sending a future title to the complainant to the direct. Recommend that we close this and move on. Number 21, case number 20120139091. An internal complaint arose from investigators suspecting unlicensed activity as a motor vehicle dealer to the two vehicles being for sale at a location. No other information is attached. The information does not warrant an unlicensed activity argument as opposed to unlicensed activity. The 22, case number 20120101091. Here, the complaint consumer alleged that Bonnie Neal was representation by the car's mechanical performance. It will turn out to be untrue because there were numerous mechanical issues with it. The respondent indicating that the vehicle was sold as is without documentation of the case law. The recommended disclosure of the found vehicle was sold as is. The 23, case number 20120133451. Here, the complaint traded in a motor vehicle to the Bonnie dealer who later sold the vehicle to the customer for cash and handed title to the customer at the point of sale. The complaint now alleges that he has been notified by the Department of Safety when it was true that the vehicle has forfeiture warrants issued against it. This may relate to the complaint for the recent buyer of the vehicle does not show the name by any part of the Bonnie dealer sold the vehicle and the title over to the buyer. Recommend that the closure of the violation of the matter. Number 24, case number 201201491. Here, the complaint consumer alleged that Bonnie dealer sold the vehicle with navigation systems that did not function properly work products to be performed at the point of sale. The respondent states that the vehicle was a special order vehicle. It was purchased sight unseen by the complainant, that the navigation system that was provided by the respondent worked at the time of delivery to the consumer. Further, the respondent states that there is another dispute between the respondent and the complainant when the complainant damaged the motor vehicle for the respondent and refused to take responsibility. No documentation of the sale was provided by either party, so he is in more detail regarding this. I recommend that we close this and allow it time on part of the client. 25 case of 201200391. Here, the complaint of the county clerk alleged that in 2011, the Bonnie dealer sold motor vehicle to a consumer while having a salvage certificate title. That after the sale applied for rebuilt certificate title. Investigation was conducted. Found that the respondent was out of business and not be found. She couldn't show us these allegations. Recommended further flags of the respondent is out of business. Number 26, case number 201201491. Here, the complainant dealer alleged the respondent dealer who owns the bus company who is using the dealer place by allowing customers to use them along with misrepresented vehicles sold as new when they are used. The complainant provided a picture of the vehicle with the complainant's name on it, with the dealer tag attached. The complainant provided no information regarding allegations of selling used vehicles as new, which did not show any those allegations. The respondent's attorney answered the allegations, stating directly that the lost product dealer tag had been used by customers for 24 hours. We did not show otherwise on what we have found. Recommend that we close this evidence of violation. Number 27, case number 201200961. Hearing the complaint consider alleges that the respondent dealer misrepresented the condition of the vehicle sold. Claiming for Connecticut and purchased the vehicle over the internet from the respondent. The complaint alleges the transmission of the vehicle needed replacing on the date of delivery from the respondent. The respondent denies the vehicle had such conditions on the date of sale. The complaint was attempted to reduce the purchase price of the vehicle. We close this complaint with sufficient evidence of violation. Number 8, number 28, case number 201201261. Here the complaint consumer alleges being switched tactics by the respondent dealer. The complaint to the possession of a new vehicle on condition of delivery. Third party's party financing could not be obtained upon that vehicle at that purchase price. The respondent informed the complainant of this and requested the complaint to return the vehicle. On the date of return, the respondent provided the vehicle options to the complainant and agreed to financing that could be obtained. The complainant subsequently purchased the vehicle from the respondent. However, the complaint recommended that we close the complaint for violation of the town. The complaint was delivered the vehicle on the condition of delivery. Number 29, case number 20120141001. Is a complaint alleged that the respondent dealer illegally repossessed the vehicle owned by the complainant's son. The complainant was not a consumer on the transaction. The complainant admitted that payments on the vehicle were in default. Recommended that we close the complaint for no violation of the town. Number 30, case number 20120110901. Here the complainant consumer alleged the respondent dealer would not inform the price of clothing to the complainant regarding the purchase of the vehicle. The complainant is a salesperson for the respondent after text message negotiations among the payments, total price payments, back and forth to each other. There's a discrepancy regarding what interest rate really he was talking about in the text message. And neither convey provides sufficient proof that there was actually an offer or acceptance based upon that. I recommend that we close this to a violation of the town. Number 31, case number 201201271. Here the complaint consumer alleged the respondent dealer sold the complainant for a vehicle that was not mechanically sound. The respondent provided details that a 2004 vehicle was sold used with a limited 3-year 36,000-mile warranty. The complaint made claims regarding fuel pumps, starter, and transmission which had issues. The starter and fuel pumps were corrected by the transmission remains in consequence. The fact above indicates there will be a contractual dispute between those parties which the respondent is attempting to resolve that we should reach the respondent. I recommend that we close this with no violation of the town. Number 32, case number 201200951. Here the complaint consumer failed to make payments on the vehicle financed by the respondent dealer. The respondent thinks or more upon complaint for hindering secured creditors or accounting which is classic. I recommend that we close this with no violation of the town. 33, case number 20120100251. Here the complaint consumer alleged that the respondent dealer illegally repossessed motor vehicles recently purchased. Now the complaint was respondent provided sufficient information to show what the terms of payment were. Further, the complaint is admitted to that payments being late on the purchase or recommend that we close this no violation of the town. 34, case number 20120100741. Here the complaint consumer which alleged the respondent dealer failed to provide time for the vehicle purchase. The respondent stated the complaint failed to make payments for repossessed the vehicle. The complainant admitted that payments were not properly made. I recommend that we close this risk with the evidence of the violation. Number 35, 201201201. Here the complaint consumer alleged mechanical problems of the vehicle purchased from the respondent. The complainant purchased the vehicle and user did not provide sufficient address to direct information to the complainant, so we did not communicate with them. I recommend that we close this no violation of the town. Number 36, case number working with the manufacturer and dealer with the vehicle immediately September. I recommend that we close this violation. The 37 case number 201201145. Here the complaint consumer standing on the phone for $500 fee to the car dealer for both vehicles for 8 days. That the complaint was out of town. The complaint attempted to get financing, involvement on sales price, apartment office, complaint was seeking financing, different methods of applying. Complaint failed to obtain financing as well as a refund of $500, which shows that it was not refunded. Responded upon it. I recommend we close it for violation of the penalty. The 38 case number 20120100601. Here the complaint consumer alleged the respondent dealer sold her vehicle that was in bad mechanical condition. Specifically that the motor overheated after the vehicle was purchased. Respondent claims the vehicle was purchased as is without warranty. Recommend that we close it for violation. Number 39, case number 20120101241. Here the complaint consumer that respondent dealer was not returning down payment and financing was provided by a lender. The complaint took the vehicle under conditional delivery. The agreement to respondent stage financing was approved. The sale was finalized. The complaint taking possession of the vehicle. The complaint did purchase the vehicle and had the vehicle into possession. Recommend that we close it for violation. Number 40, case number 20120095581. A complaint was internally open to the Department of Revenue stating that the vehicle dealer was licensed to fire and selling vehicles to other dealers. The investigation was conducted and found that 3 vehicles in question were purchased at auction by a licensed dealer who also previously owned the respondent's dealer. The respondent's closed dealer. But the auction was taken and transferred vehicles instantly into the respondent's closed dealer instead of the licensed dealer. The licensed dealer transferred to his own name from the respondent's closed dealer. The licensed dealer is completing affidavits to correct this with the title and registration department. And someone at an auction assumed this was the dealership he was purchasing on behalf of the bank. After it was written on the title, he had nothing. He quickly was transferred to the dealership. And being worked out as revenue that he could get this cleared up. Recommend that we close this for the violation. Number 41, case number 20120100611. Here the complaint consumer alleged that the respondent dealer falsely advertised the vehicle with incorrect mileage. The complaint was failed to provide us with any original advertising and documentation or otherwise that we could look at. I recommend that we close this in this violation. 42, case number 201201307. An internal complaint was opened against the respondent for possible unlicensed activity as one of the dealers. The respondent signed bill of sale and prepared the title as a dealer to Consumer Tennessee. The respondent is not a licensed dealer. The name and address of the respondent cannot be obtained because it was on the title and it was illegible and everything had an address. And that we close Number 43, case number 201001241. Complaint dealer alleged respondent in an auto auction. Fraudulently formulated title that previously was retailed. Investigation was conducted. The respondent over claimed that errors were made by employees that were not fraudulently. The employee was terminated. The employee was interviewed, claimed that she was ignorant of the mistakes she was making. As this position evidence the judge was actually in fraudulent activity as in particular vehicles. I recommend that we close this Number 44, case number 20100311151. Here an internal complaint was opened against the owner of the respondent dealer due to an arrest for being arrested for riding of a public official in order to process titles. I believe this is the respondent is set to file on October 1, 2012. And this case should be monitored until the final determination. So I recommend that we place our litigation monitoring status as a whole. Number 45, case number 20120122291. Here the complaint consumer alleged that the respondent dealer conducted phase 2 tactics The complaint purchased a new vehicle for one vehicle home. The respondent mistakenly gave the complaint to the wrong vehicle. However, it was identical to the vehicle that she purchased. The respondent had already submitted all paperwork stated that they could not change the VIN number on the paperwork that they had submitted. The complaint alleges that the vehicle did not contain specifically that she does not know a current vehicle drive. Both the invoices were sent in showing that the vehicles were exactly the same, had all the exact same factory options installed. And no appeal options have been placed on either vehicle, or as opposed to no violation. Number 46, case number 20120180331. Here, the respondent dealer was sent a brief citation for failing to properly maintain the information on the temporary tag along. There were 8 instances of the respondent did not provide sufficient further information for the case. As does the previous item, the respondent received a new citation from investigators for failing to have a current business license. Citation was recovered from the vehicle without any previous recommended authorization in order to allow $5,500 and cost out to $1,000.
At 201-201-3121.
Yes.
975.
I think mine says $500, which is the parentheses next to it is $1,000.
Not on ours.
Okay,
We're good.
great. Mine has it. Number 48, case number 20122012231. Here the complaint is the alleged respondent of unlicensed dealer was engaged in unlicensed activity that complied with acts on notice by the title. The investigation was conducted and found that the respondent admitted selling a motor vehicle to the complaint was taken for sale and done through an Arkansas dealer in that case. However, the field appears that the actual sale occurred in Tennessee. The respondent had a physical place of business inmates where she was insured. The respondent admitted to selling things on the vehicle by transfer. The respondent failed to place inside of the transfer on the specific title of the old title. I recommend authorization for the penalty of up to $6,000, $500 for each $11,000 activity, and $500 for the open title of the account. These are like consent orders for very good restoration. Number 49, case number 20120131111. Here the respondent is the dealer who received a brief citation for failing to have failing to see the business license posted. That included a $500 single penalty for having the second business located with it and for having a sign that indicates the second business belonging to their own business, which is a violation of the rules. The respondent's attorney requested a breakdown of the civil penalty, and I recommend authorization for the civil penalty of $1,750. The breakdown is $500 for each license that was obtained, one $500 violation for violating the severance of part, and one $250 violation for the signage and a violation for the license of the here. Number 50, case number 201201311. The other respondent received a brief citation for inspection by investigators for failure to properly maintain the temporary tag limit. Citation was issued to the respondent requested to be able to address the condition. Really don't have to hold that for it. I recommend you put the I recommend authorization for the social penalty in that $12,000. 24 counts of 10 tag violations for $500 for each settled license. So case number 2012013010621. The respondent received a brief citation during the inspection by the investigator for failure to properly maintain the temporary tag law. Failure to post cell phone number, failure to post the sales tax identification, failure to post the business license, failure to maintain business records, failure to maintain liability insurance for 13 days. Recommend authorization for the civil penalty of $9,750 for the license and one 4721. Where the respondent received a brief citation from the inspector by investigators for failure to monitor the temporary catalog. Respondent provided information to the commission requesting a lesser penalty and explained that it maintained its records on the respondent's computer. Recommended authorization to reserve the penalty is not $5 million. Number 53, case number 2012-0159. Here is complaint consumer alleged that the respondent the service center improperly serviced the vehicle and the product indicated that the vehicle was serviced when it was not. The respondent was previously licensed with legal dealer's license, fire devices, complaint, a filed as such is not legal or unless before given commission direction to report the no violation was found and refer this complaint to the consumer service. Number 54, case number 2012-012551. The respondent is an unlicensed dealer who was previously licensed as a motor vehicle dealer. The respondent placed 3 motor vehicles for sale on the side of the road indicating that there was for sale and activity constitutes unlicensed activity. Recommended authorization of $3,000 unlicensed dealer. Case number 201201596. Here the complaint consumer alleged the respondent dealer sold a vehicle which he did not want to buy that caused physical stress and his respondent told his creditors for more time than authorized. Recommend that we close this to allow us to do that. Number 56, case number 201201661. Here the complaint consumer alleged the respondent dealer sold a vehicle which was previously bought back by the as a letter. And failed to disclose to the complaint. The respondent indicated that the complaint was provided a copy of the auto check, which indicated that the respondent indicated that the title that was given was not the claim's title. I recommend that we close this to allow us to take it out. So 57, case number 201201691. Here the complaint consumer alleged the respondent dealer failed to provide title for the motor vehicle purchased 2.5 months earlier. A copy of the respondent's security bond was sent to the complainant. I recommend that we close it to the security bond. Number 58, case number 201201461. Here the complaint consumer alleged the respondent dealer failed to memorize the title. For a vehicle purchase, the respondent stated that he attempted to explain that the title is not required to be memorized in Tennessee. It appears the respondent attempted to assist the complainant. I recommend that we close it to allow us to take it out. 559, case number 201201123. Here the complainant consumer alleged that the mileage of the motor vehicle by mistake placed 11 miles on the tail, which was later transferred to the title. The vehicle actually had 3,000 miles after the previously driven by customer on a conditional delivery visit that did not qualify as finance. The respondent admitted to this and stated that this was a mistake. That the triple dollar was placed in the bill sale, not the actual mileage. This vehicle was purchased regularly 2 years ago. I recommend authorization for such penalty in the amount of $1,000. Negligent misrepresentation. We settled by consent over 4 years. Number 60, case number 20120100931. Here the respondent received a brief citation for failure to properly maintain temporary tax laws. The respondent provided information regarding the mortgage as authorization. I recommend authorization to settle the penalty in the amount of $500 for settlement for 4 years. Number 61, case number 201201671. Here the complaint consumer alleged that the respondent dealer sold a warranty on a semi-tractor in 2010 and will not honor the warranty. The respondent went out of business in 2011 with license expired. I recommend that we close the complaint respondent to that license expired. Number 62, case number 2012010.
Let's go back up to page 9. Again, responded admitted to his study, several dollars, quite a number of the sale, and not the actual violence. The vehicle was purchased over 2 years ago. I'm not really sure. I understand how this happened. This happens from time to time. So actually on the mileage statement, was the correct mileage and the customer signs the mileage check with the correct mileage on the use correct? So the customer signed the incorrect mileage check. Yes, and 10 years later, reports it to the motor vehicle.
Yes. And it was reported that the vehicle was showed to him was shown as a vehicle with 11 miles on it. The vehicle had 11 miles on it. And he purchased the vehicle here in Canada that had 11 miles on it.
And it was signed that agreement, the customer. And they had 3,000 miles. And 10 years later, he reports it to the motor vehicle.
Yes.
This doesn't sound like a minimum mileage problem. Why would it?
Well, from what the 2 years really isn't necessarily what my concerns are. It's really the fact that it's 11 miles versus the bill of sale is 11 miles on there. And the vehicle they purchased, the price that it purchased that was for 11 miles. When it actually had 9,000 miles on it. And the idea of these negative misrepresentation is that there was the dealer provided a fact to the consumer that the consumer relied on was incorrect. And we believe that the dealer would have a duty to disclose and provide them with the correct fact. And that the respondent here, or excuse me, the complaint here, has been damaged in a way that we have the correct mileage based on the vehicle and purposes. And that's why there's an authorization for that. That's why I recommend it to the company for that. And the respondent and dealer actually admitted that they were 2 years later. 2 years later. We're on room
62.
62. Case number 201201671. Here is a complaint consumer related to one dealer that the sale of a deferred down payment on sales contract and security clearance for the vehicle purchase. And she was confused by this. The respondent admitted that she was to provide a supplemental agreement to pay for the remaining deferred down payment time on the complaint. As such, it's difficult to show that the complaint was misled. I recommend that we ought to do authorization for a letter of warning to the 63 case number 201201671. Here the complaint includes the brother of the respondent, who is an unlicensed individual, claiming that the respondent is in possession of 3 vehicles owned by the complaint that is not paid for them, and further that the respondent is engaged in unlicensed activity. From the complaint response, it is obvious that there is a personal dispute between the two and that does not involve motor vehicles. The respondent denied all stating that he owns many old motor vehicles that he sold in travel process. Number 64, case number 201201658 201201659 Here, these complaints consumers alleged responding dealer bill for my title of the vehicle purchase. A copy of the security bond was sent to the complaint at the time of the purchase to the complaint was only within a few months. So generally, it's still possible that they may get the title very soon because it's only been 5 weeks or less than 2 months since the purchase was made. I recommend that the closing of the letter on the respondent and they have the security bond. Number 65, case number 20120126661. Here the complaint dealer alleged respondent with an unlicensed person who conducted unlicensed activity. The investigation was conducted and indicated that motor vehicles were being sold on the property. However, there was not sufficient proof to show that more than 5 motor vehicles were sold or who the vehicles belonged. I recommend the closing of the letter warning. Number 66, case number 20120101661. Here the respondent received a brief citation for failure to maintain a temporary tag on and issuing more than 2 temporary tags to the same customer's vehicle. The respondent replied stating that the unreadable law and West Virginia did not issue any penalties in that. The temporary tag law indicated that 2 tags are not to be VIN numbers associated with it, and all customers given 7 temporary tags. I recommend authorization to sue the penalty amount of $3,500. That's 7 times 500 temporary tags. Not to be settled by the December or 4 years. And now we're going into the presentation of previous cases that have been issued to the provided Number 67, this involves three cases, case number 2011-00712, 2011-00713, and 2011-00721. This case involves unlicensed activity by an individual on an auto auction and auto individual, unlicensed by motor vehicles possessing dealer without a licensed salesperson. Both the individual and the dealer in the auto auction are assessed civil penalties amount both civil penalties, $2,500 for the individual and $1,500 for the auto auction. The auto auction paid in full before were not assessed. The dealer has gone out of business and surrendered their license. The individual here sent a check for $500 over 2 years ago and failed to sign the consent order. The second motor vehicle $2,500 for the penalty, which is also out of business with license expired. I want to bring these forward so that we can finalize all of these different cases. Since most of these are out of these funds are out of business, on 2011-00712, I request that we can reduce the civil penalty to around $500 on part of the market. Which is out of business and closed, which is the amount of dollars we have to accept from the rest of the time. 2011-00723, recommend that we close this civil penalty out of business. 2011-00723, close this one to keep it similar to this department out of business.
Tony, can we flag both of those?
Yes, that should actually take it. Number 68, case number 2012-00781 and 2012-005. Here, the district previously authorized a $124,500 consent order signed against the responding dealer for violating advertising violations related to the radio broadcast. The respondent provided my office with a request to settle the matter for about $60,000. After review the file, his office directed him to agree to the settlement that there has been no consumer complaints associated with this complaint with this advertising, along with the difficulty in obtaining the between the radio station. I recommend authorization to settle the matter for about $60,000 and leave it for $124,000.
What was actually violated?
It was the offering of free items to advertisers.
It wasn't on the advertising screen. The word free is not used.
It was, I believe, 380 some odd listings, and it was 380 some odd. This amount of time that it actually aired on broadcast. We have a rule against providing free offers of advertising. Offering any free product, which is conditional on purchase of people, they prohibit it. It's actually free or any word similar to form. And what this advertising, this language in this advertising, it would be very much, I believe, on the line as to whether or not they use the word free or similar to. They actually do not use the word free, but would have to be similar to the word similar. So the video is not, I believe the offer for settlement matters to their new offer.
And what was their actual word?
Something, a product comes with it, with the purchase you get.
I believe it was like a religious purpose. Not a comes with I'll take it. Link, I guess, link the discussion with the dealer and the dealer's attorney as to what language would or would not be a violation of. That's on the line as to what would be the you kind of contentious that.
Good.
Number 69, case number 2011-019-122, 2011-02397. has previously authorized the closure of this complaint due to insufficient evidence that the respondent was operating a motor vehicle dealer without a license. The second respondent was actually named in this complaint. This respondent is a business located in Amman, Georgia, authorized to purchase vehicles, motor vehicles at auto auctions only. This respondent requested that the other respondent sell a motor vehicle that is purchased, and it would be for appropriate for the commission to provide with that, especially respondent with a letter stating that the respondent not selling the vehicle without a license. So I recommend that we send a letter of warning explaining the respondent not selling the vehicle without a license.
What's the postage on that?
I have no idea, but it seems in the file without people, it seems that there was a business in Monroe who export vehicles, and they had a respondent purchase the vehicle as an auto auction here in Tennessee, and I believe when that respondent communicated what vehicle he had purchased for him, he said, I don't want that vehicle, give me your money. So he sold that vehicle. That respondent just sold the vehicle, he didn't have a license to do so. So that was a separate complaint in that, and that's just we didn't have actual really good proof that that actual sale actually took place. That's what we suspect from the documentation that we do have. So we do have documentation from this business that we'll try to get everyone to sell it. Number 7, case number 201-200-00991. Here in advertising citation says respondent dealer regarding video advertising. Video cannot be found in the address such as revenue violation or residential exposure to residential violation. Number 7, case number 201-027-921. Here the commission dealers were authorized to $11,500 unless accepted during the work of the client. Here an export and purchase of salvage motor vehicle. The vehicle titles are marked for export only, assigned at the respondent's business indicates buy here, pay here, provided confusion. There's no evidence of the sale of any vehicle. None of the persons at the respondent's place of business actually spoke English and the investigators found here to try to get some information. And none of our investigators spoke whatever language that was used. Yeah, so the investigators did not ask questions regarding some vehicles. It seems like there's likely a little danger of these vehicles that are in the market as the titles that we did see were transferred to export company by that business and over to take a good title and then the purchaser then would have to be applied for a legal title and part of it. So I don't see really where the harm is just by that sign that we're misleading, but in order to sell those to the market, we have to go through the process of legal title and all that. So we asked them to remove the buy here, pay here. No, we have not.
But you think that we should if they're only for export?
Well, I guess I had proposed a letter of warning really indicating that it's very difficult for the commission to make somebody take a sign that I guess is what's on it. It's not really something that the commission is authorized to do to make somebody take a sign. What we can do is well, I guess my recommendation here was close to the letter of warning and asking them to take something down. Or we can issue a civil penalty. We could potentially issue a civil penalty because the sign is there, but the sign, I hesitate to do that just because there's only a sign and it's not really an advertising scheme. We're selling cars here, coming to purchase here. It just says buy here, pay here. And from the location of the dealership, it was obvious that they're on dealerships that go into buildings and then leave and come in and leave. So there's signage all around. As in, it wasn't one necessarily that they put up in the previous.
I would suggest some type of if it's sitting there in America, or anybody that speaks English, cities by here, pay here, that is essentially the place to do. I think they understand American $100 bills.
It's possible. The issue is when our investigators went out there, we could not get any information from the investigators. So actually, no actual proof of the sale.
The language is
We could make it to the recommendation for the letter of warning, specifically, that they take down the sign.
we can then first you get a trust.
We could use the specific language in there.
Does the state not have the ability to write a transcript?
No. No one says this, we don't have that kind of setup.
I think other departments can do, but not that I know of in our department. I wouldn't know how to have it done. I know that the application is
Somebody says,
well, I look for the department of justice.
I would just, whatever, that, take that. Yeah, vehicle steady there, and we've got to buy his package, it's in a matter of time before someone does the process, buy a vehicle.
Right, when it's probably true, what I can't show is that they actually have someone. And that's what I can't show, I can't say that they are conducting them, because I can't show that he actually has someone.
Like, there's a license to sell, we've got to.
Correct.
But if someone going in and buying it has already been approved at the expo, then you would have a complaint at that point. But at this point, we just don't have anything.
No, I don't have where somebody has told me that they have
Right.
purchased the vehicle.
Right.
That they're actually conducting them. What I have is I have what is a sign that says buy here, pay here, which is assumed to, it just says buy here, pay here. It doesn't say buy here, pay here, there are no vehicles, we sell no vehicles. We're holding ourselves out as no license for vehicles either. It just says buy here, pay here. So I guess there's have to be an assumption to be made that it's referring to motor vehicles, the motor vehicles that are sitting on the lot. I thought that was a stretch to make that argument that that's what it's for. So that's why I thought about this when I thought, well, if we send out a letter of warning, that makes it better than doing it to the penalty, because they can contest the fact that they request us to show where they actually are selling vehicles and we don't have that. So they would essentially consent to that, say, well, we want you to pay us this penalty a certain amount and take a sign off. They wouldn't be able to enforce taking a sign off, but even if they contested a certain penalty, then that formal hearing it would be difficult to show that they actually are engaged in unlicensed activity, and they can't show that they actually have sold a vehicle. If I had a vehicle that was sold or complained to the legislature, it would be much easier to determine that documentation. But this is just basically,
I understand exactly what you're saying. First of all,
I'll put that in. Yes.
If they don't understand the project, that possibly is saying company amounts to funds, but then you follow for it, that you're obviously it's the sale.
Number 72. Case number 201200051. Here the commission previously authorized a civil penalty of $5,000 for non-executive and reduced the Respondent certified mail has been returned, business disclosure is not found. I recommend that we, close and flag, close the flag to respondent that number 73, 2011-028591, is a commission previously authorized to $681,000. First time it's failure to provide title. There is no known fraud in this case. The respondent's attorney provides communication to advisors that the respondent is that business is filing for bankruptcy. This will allow them to certain avenues to relieve the state thing. I recommend that we close the flag for this respondent to that business. Number 74, case number 201201462. Daily complaint consumer alleged respondent to failed to provide keys to a motor vehicle farm facility in the Warranty Soul and Steel in October. Catalyst converter receiving covered under the warranty was an issue. There was also a question as to vehicle registration. Investigation was conducted to not constitute this violation. For ascertaining whether the used funds and sale negotiations further this vehicle has registration. I don't believe it should be represented. I don't believe it's I recommend we close this and use this to follow. I'm going to read a lot of the numbers here. Number 75, you see a lot of case numbers, and each of these are the captions at the bottom of the above complaint were received stating respondent dealers have failed to provide title registration for the vehicle purchase, or that the dealer had been indirectly altered this title and registration is not for something. These dealers have abandoned business and they're no longer operating 30-mile information and I recommend that we close the file. These respondents all have Number 76, these case numbers that were listed below it, all of these are complaints that were provided through the commission but have been settled between the parties after the filing of the complaint. I recommend that we close these and settle these with the parties. Number 77, case number 201201147. Here the above complaints are duplicate complaints with duplicate complaints. This one is going to be closed for the rest of the closes to the And number 78 is P012011711. This complaint was the first advertising violation by a dealer within a 1-year period. The first one is recommended to be a letter of warning to number 79 and number 80, there's actually no complaints associated with those that should operate on the legal report. It's just a form that I use, so there are no complaints under those categories. And with that, that concludes the legal.
Rebecca, thanks. Great job. Any comments from the commissioner?
Can you shore up this one so we're going to make changes to it?
Yeah.
That
I think the number 71, we know case number. And then, number 67, 2011007123 and 2011007122. All we're gonna do is add flag to that. In case 64, there were 3 numbers: 201-201-6581, 201-201-66591, and 201-201-6571. And you had closed with a letter of warning, and also you indicate that you're going to provide this security guard. That was in your comments,
yes.
even though it wasn't written there, but I just wrote your comment down. And I think that was it.
There's a change on number 7, is that right?
Yeah, the number change.
Is something was wrong with the case number, but other than that.
Number 7.
Yeah, number 7. I wrote it down the second, so just cut it.
Yeah, number 7, case number 7. I think I wrote down 201, 203041. Okay.
Oh,
Right. We're done? Unless you got some comments.
That's all.
Okay.
I've been just, you all know, on the review committee, I've been back probably a month now, so there are many cases that I have to review. Probably a larger legal report anyway,
Okay.
to shore up some of those,
Okay.
some investigations that I have.
Good. Let's conclude the motor vehicle legal report. Okay. All right.
And we welcome him. And Mr. Commissioner Keck resides in Sharps Chapel, Tennessee. And also Mr. John Murray from Pulaski, Tennessee, Murray Chevrolet, and I guess Buick now, Mr. John, Chevrolet and Buick, represents the 7th Congressional District. We welcome John. John's family's been in the automobile business, I know, 2 generations. And how many years, John? Do you remember? 1930. That ought to qualify. And last meeting, Commissioner Lynn Webb was added to the Motor Vehicle Commission and from the 1st Congressional District. And Commissioner Webb, the name of his dealership is McNeely Whaley Motor Company. And so these will be fine additions to the commission. So, welcome. If you have any questions for me before we start the meeting, I'll do my best to answer them. You all have met the entire staff, I guess. Leslie, did you meet these gentlemen? Leslie Holmes, she runs things out here. Keeps everyone straight. So in about 3 minutes, we'll start the meeting. Okay, I'll call to order the Motor Vehicle Commission meeting, Monday, October 8th, 2012. I'll ask Director Stribling to have a roll call.
Chairman Roberts,
Here.
Commissioner McMahon, Mr. Fox,
Here.
you all speak up as much as possible. The microphone's hard to work. Commissioner Jackson.
Here.
Commissioner Webb. Here. Commissioner Schaefer.
Here.
Commissioner Bass.
Here.
Commissioner Trickett.
Here.
Commissioner Hatchett. Commissioner Murray.
Here.
Commissioner Cullum. Commissioner Purtle. Here. Commissioner Carr.
Here.
Commissioner Peck.
Here.
Commissioner Hinton. Commissioner Clayton.
Here.
You have a floor.
Thank you. The meeting was posted on our Motor Vehicle Commission website on the 21st of September 2012. You should have copies of the minutes of our last meeting, which was in July, I believe. If you don't have a copy, let us know. If you take a moment and review those and see if it would be the pleasure of the commission to approve those minutes.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Clayton made the motion and Commissioner Trickett seconded. By voice vote, all those in favor of the motion to approve the meetings from the minutes from the last meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. You approve. We need to adopt the agenda for this meeting. You have an advanced copy of that as well. If you look that over, and we'll ask you to approve that agenda if you see fit.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
And Commissioner Bass makes motion to approve. Commissioner Fox seconds. By voice vote, say aye for approval of the minutes. I'm sorry, approval of the agenda. Okay. Any opposition? Before we go into the appeals, we want to welcome back our legal counsel, Tony Glandor. Tony has been in Kuwait. I guess it's okay to say that. We appreciate his service to our country, and he serves our country well, and also our state of Tennessee well. We're very proud of Tony's work. We're glad to see you back in the saddle, Tony. All right. We ready to go to appeals? Salesperson appeal, Dustin D. Shaw, Kia of Kingsport. Morning. Which of you is Mr. Shaw? And you're...
Sean Davis.
Okay. What is your relationship to...
I'm a sales manager for
Mr. Glandor, would you give us the reason that the application was denied?
This one was denied for, Mr. Shaw here was convicted of arson, and I believe the probation ends in 2024. Given the commission has the discretion to deny this license up to 2029.
All right. Mr. Shaw, if you'd like to address the commission on why you're making this appeal. Sir, you're welcome to have a seat, and then right there is fine. Right there at the table.
well, when I was younger, I was 18 when I committed the crimes that I have before me now. And since that time, I'm 23 now. I feel like there's been a huge change in my life. I've done everything I can to correct the problems that I gave to the victims of my crimes. You know, I've paid restitution every month on time, the amount or more than what I was told by the courts to pay every month. I've stayed out of trouble. I've never felt the drug test. I don't do drugs. And this for me has presented itself as the best opportunity I have had thus far to really make a good change in my life. Because once you have felony convictions, it's really hard to find a good job. And I've never had an opportunity like this to be able to make money, to further myself better, to be able to pay that extra amount and get everything paid back to these victims quickly, and to also, you know, have a better quality of life for myself. So when I was given the opportunity to work with Kia, obviously it was, you know, very exciting. Because here's a chance for me to take more steps forward, you know, and really just better myself and my opportunity to have a better quality of life. So for me, this is, it's not really just a job. It's more like an opportunity for a career where I can be more successful than I might otherwise have the opportunity to, you know, at any other 40-hour-a-week job. Oh, and I also, I asked my probation officer to write a letter, and she sent it. I think she sent it to y'all, but just in case it didn't arrive, I've got a copy of it. Anybody like to see it? If y'all have a copy?
We got it. Other, the commission members have questions for Mr. Shaw. Mr. Bass.
Mr. Bass, what has been your employment since you've been placed on probation?
Since I was placed on probation? When I was placed on probation, I had a job at a restaurant in Johnson City called Cheddar's Casual Cafe. I was a server. From there, I worked there for 3 years. From there, I went to a inventory auditing company called Reliant Inventory Services, where I went around and went to Food Cities, Ingles, Save-A-Lot's, grocery stores, and counted their inventory. Had a little calculator, went through it, and you just put in the price of the item you're counting. And then from there, I went to a company called Perma-Art, which is a styrofoam manufacturing plant where we make like construction-grade styrofoam for insulation in buildings. And then from there, I went to Kia.
Are you working for Kia now?
I'm still officially employed with them, but I've not been able to work since I was denied the salesman's license.
What line of work were you doing for Kia?
Salesman.
Selling cars
Yes, sir.
without a license?
So as soon as we found out that I had been denied, I quit selling cars.
So,
How long did you sell cars at Kia?
Roughly a month, about 3.5 weeks, until the letter was received. And then that day, as soon as we got the letter, they told me I couldn't legally sell anymore. So
Mr. Chairman, if I can make a point that our rules allow for applicants to participate in sales of vehicles so long as they're supervised while that application is pending.
Thank you for that clarification. I remember that now. Mr. Fox.
Mr. Chairman, what did you burn and why did you do it?
well, I can answer the what. I burnt 3 dilapidated old buildings The answer to why, I don't have it. I was just a young kid making a horrible mistake that, as far as I know, is going to stick with me the rest of my life. There really is no why. I was just not even that I'm not thinking. It doesn't take much thinking to know not to go out and do something like that, you know. But it was just a horrible mistake that ever since then I've been doing everything I could to try and make up for it in any way I can.
Were you by yourself or with other groups? Or
No, sir, I was with 4 other young men.
Okay.
You did not like someone from that.
No, sir.
They're all like, big, run down lines.
More questions? All right, let's hear from your sales manager.
How you doing, everybody? I offered, I've known Dustin Shaw for relatively 7 years, been a friend of the family. And just knowing who he is, I offered him a position over there, and just know that he'll do real well there, and to keep a person, that kind of a thing. I wouldn't have offered him a job knowing, or if I thought he was a bad person in a way, or couldn't do the job, you know, to his full extent. And I figured this was going to be a bump in the road for us. Wasn't 100%, but pretty sure about it. And you know, I'd really like to have him on the team. I think he'll be a great asset to our store. He shows good promise, you know, that's what we're doing.
How long have you been in the Kia store?
We've been open for about a year and about 8 months, so I've been with them since day one.
Have you been in the whole time since opening?
Yeah, oh yes. I was asked to come back.
Any questions for this gentleman? Thank you, Mr. Jones. Have a seat for the rest of the discussion.
Were you aware of his dilemma when you hired him?
Well, I knew that he had a felony. I didn't know the extent of it, how many charges there were, and that sort of a thing.
Did he not tell you?
Oh, I knew of, you know, the felonies. I didn't know that there was a couple counts of them or anything like that. I knew he was doing everything in his power to rectify that situation, paying the restitution fees, passing all tests required as far as drugs and that kind of stuff.
On his application, though, to you, did he tell you what he had done and to the extent it was?
I mean, I knew of, you know, the felonies and what it was, arson, that kind of thing. I just didn't know how that was, 4 counts. I just didn't know about that. Not that he was hiding it. I just,
You didn't ask?
no. And then when we got the denial letter, that's when, and I was like, well, tell me the whole story, you know,
Any discussion about the commission? About this application?
Commission Jack, just one question I want to ask you. The offense took place on the date of September 6, 07, that's when it took place. So,
Yes, that was when I got I was charged on October 15th of 07. I was convicted on May 16th of 08.
But these didn't all happen at the same time. You had two on the 6th and one on the 23rd, right? I see offense date 9/6, 9/6, and then 9/23. Were these all on the same day, or did you have two offenses and then one 2 weeks later?
No, I was charged all on the same day with all the charges.
not even charged on the same day. Did you do the crime, all three on the same day?
Yeah.
Did you receive any remuneration for this? Any insurance money involved, anything like this?
No, sir, what do you have?
Did
An insurance scale.
No.
You know, when it gets to
No.
why burn a building, the first thing I think of is to collect insurance.
No.
Anybody?
No.
I'm kidding.
No, they gave me, no, there was no insurance involved. There was $30,000 worth of restitution involved when it was over and done. That was a larger, I don't remember the original large amount, but then it was divided between, me and my other co-defendants after, the big lump sum was divided up between us.
Yeah, I was looking for some type of conspiracy.
Right.
Were these buildings uninhabited buildings?
Yeah, they were uninhabited. They were where as you walk through, you have to check the floorboard in front of you to make sure you didn't fall to the floor. Just old, dilapidated buildings and a bunch of kids being stupid.
Was it just vandalism, basically, or just
Basically,
to that?
yeah, in a nutshell.
How many other kids were involved with you, and were they prosecuted?
4 others, yes, they were.
We've had enough discussion. Do we hear a motion on this application?
I like the motion.
Mr. Webb? What is your motion?
Random license.
I second. I had Commissioner Farr. Who was the second? Commissioner Farr. That's the first one I heard about. Commissioner Farr made us the second on that motion, Mr. Grant. Is there discussion of the motion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. Roll call vote, please.
This motion is to grant the license. Commissioner Fox?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Webb?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Bass?
Stay.
Commissioner Trickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Commissioner Turtle?
Yes.
Commissioner Carr?
Yes.
Commissioner Keck?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
7 yes, 1 abstain.
Mr. Shaw, you'll be granted a license to sell vehicles at that location. Congratulations.
Thank you guys. We greatly appreciate it. You all have a good day.
Mr. Ransom Griffin? Ransom Griffin. I'll assume a no-show then. Is there discussion of this applicant or a motion to uphold the denial?
Make a motion that we uphold it now.
Second. Commissioner Schaefer made the motion and Commissioner Reed seconded. Any discussion? Commissioner Reed, Trickett, that's what Commissioner Reed.
I guess Tim Reed.
Yeah. Commissioner Trickett. I do know the difference. Roll call vote, please.
This vote is uphold the denial. Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Fox?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Webb?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Bass?
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Commissioner Turtle?
Yes.
Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Mr. Peck,
Yes.
Mr. Clayton.
The denial was upheld. Rodney B. Jenkins, Volunteer Chevrolet, Sevierville, Tennessee.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Mr. Randolph, reason for it's probably in the notes somewhere.
It is, it's in the notes, the conviction was for obstruction of a law enforcement officer. We have the date of the end of sentence is 2012, so in the 5 years, plus 5 years was the statute allowed, means the commission could deny this license up to 2017. And I don't see anything in our statute of Tennessee law why the commission would not have the discretion to deny or to grant this license.
Everyone hear that? A little background noise started if I had anyone. Okay. Mr. Jenkins, let's hear from you, sir. Tell us about your circumstances.
I'm glad to. I grew up in Mr. Webb's hometown, but City of University, Tennessee, and went to get a Master of Theology. And spent most of my adult life pastoring churches. The last one was a large senior pastor in a church in Georgia. But unfortunately, my wife chose to leave and marry another man. And I quit my job and sold cars in Georgia. I sold a place for a couple of years. But unfortunately, began to kind of fall apart emotionally. Allowed a little alcohol back into my life. And one night after I had wrecked my car, and anyway, was walking back to where I was staying, and a policeman who was not on the scene of the one-car accident chased me down from behind and tackled me, and I didn't even know he was there. So we ended up scuffling a little bit, and that's what I went to jail for, obstruction of an officer. A policeman, by the way, who is no longer on the police force for getting in a fight with his own policeman, and he's now in jail for beating his wife. So he hadn't been on the force that long, but unfortunately, we just, I guess it didn't go together at that night, at that time, and I spent some time in jail for that. So I got out last January the 11th, and actually, Mr. Helton agreed to hire me then at the car dealership, but it took a very long time for me to get my license, and then when I finally got it, then kind of I got to have a sales license, so it's just been a process.
Any questions, Mr. Jenkins, from the commission?
Commissioner Jackson, you said you wrecked your car.
Yes.
Was there anyone else injured in that wreck?
No, I slid into a light pole at a gas station as I was turning in. No, I actually went in and gave the gas station my name and number and told them I would take care of everything, and I was less than a mile from where I was staying, so I was walking back to call the record to get my kid.
When the policeman come up,
Well, he evidently came to the gas station after I had walked off, and yes, that he was on foot from behind, and I didn't even know he was back there.
he runs up behind you, just tackling you, just,
No police, no stop, no nothing.
and when you had the incident, did he identify himself as a police officer when he first?
No, sir. No, he didn't. I don't really understand why he didn't, but no, sir, he didn't. And yes, there was just a little scuffle until I kind of realized what was going on, and by then, I guess it was already done. In other words, it wasn't a fight, it was more a tussle, yeah, with me not really letting him put the cuffs on me at first, and then I realized and did, but by then, he didn't like what I had done, so.
Have you got a Tennessee driver's license?
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Do you have a Tennessee driver's license?
Yes, I sure do.
And you spent 14 months incarcerated, correct?
A little bit longer than that, I think. It was from February 09 to almost 2 years, to January 11.
In Georgia or Tennessee? Georgia, like Georgia State Pens, that kind of weird.
It was the Alfred State Penitentiary.
You got children?
Yes, sir. I have 2 small children. They still live in Rome, Georgia with my wife and her husband.
James been preaching now, or?
No, sir. I've given my testimony of what I've been through some. Part of that was that my father's Sunday school class, which has a lot of businessmen in it. You may have a letter with a bunch of their names on it. They helped me to get my license because there was an issue with that too. But anyway, they got granted and I've got them, so they're all in support. So I go around and tell them folks that. You know, in the Baptist world, when you're divorced, you don't really pass your divorce.
Mr. Chairman? Yes. I know the Jenkinsons, there for a long time. I know his dad's with him. And that list of people who's recommended him, the who's who of spiritual life, something like that, CEO of the bank, former head of the Farm Bureau, and on. So I think he's maybe got a life straight left.
I'd make the recommendation we approve this license.
Okay, that's a motion to grant the license by Mr. Cricket, and seconded by Mr. Pearl. Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, I'll call for a roll call vote.
Yes, vote David Grant. Joe Clayton. Yes. Mr. Hinton. Mr. Peck.
Yes.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Mr. Purtle.
Yes.
Mr. Murray.
Yes.
Mr. Trickett.
Yes.
Mr. Bass.
Yes.
Mr. Sexton.
Yes.
Mr. Webb. Yes. Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Fox.
Yes.
Chairman Roberts.
Yes. Ms. Jenkins, congratulations, you'll be granted a...
Thank you all very much.
Good luck with your career. Shannon L. Webb, Dodge Nissan, Memphis, Tennessee. Which one is Mr. Webb and... Okay, who'd you bring with you, sir?
Kevin Ritchie, General Sales Manager, Dodge Nissan.
Steve King, attorney for the leadership.
Mr. King. Mr. King?
Yes.
You're welcome. We have the reason for denial.
He was convicted of possession of controlled substance. Having difficulty reading actually the form here for Arkansas, the when his probation began and when it ends. I believe we have it down here as 2014. Is that correct? When did your probation end? Your parole ended in December of last year.
Eligible 5 years from this past December.
2016. Is that correct? And it was the latest is your parole in 2011. So plus 5 years from 2016.
Okay. Ms. King, how would you saw the general format that we do? You're representing this gentleman. How would you? I'm sorry.
I'm not on the probation now.
Right. Yeah. Our rules call for 5 years after probation.
Right. By statute,
4 years.
you can, the commission has discretion to deny an application 5 years after the parole, probation, or the conviction, whichever is later, for crimes more culpable.
Mr. King, how would you like to proceed? Would you like to speak first?
Briefly, usually possession of controlled substance under the statute of denial is absolutely denied his application. He's been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude. And there have been several cases and Attorney General opinions on what involves moral turpitude, and they've found that things like possession of marijuana and those type incidents are not moral turpitude. In fact, our Supreme Court has issued an opinion that says the court can determine what constitutes a crime involving moral turpitude, and this is dealing with the beer statute that said that it is a crime that involving moral turpitude refers to an act of baseness, violence, and depravity, private and social duties of a man over his fellow man, course, in society in general, time periods is such a rule right between man and man. So we contend that the possession was not a conviction for possession of controlled substance. It's not a basis for denial. And even if the court found that the injury of the Michigan was, Mr. Webb has shown an exemplary life after that. He has 4 children, and I'm going to let him tell you about he's been working at the dealership and the body shop, doing different things, and he's done a really good job. I'm going to let him tell you about that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. King. If the other gentlemen want to have a seat, you're welcome to stand, but you're also welcome to sit, so why don't you do that? Okay, Mr. Webb, would you like to address the commission?
Yes, sir, I would. I'll just start by saying I'm not trying to point whether it's moral disagree. I really don't understand that word. It's not. I don't want to argue that point about the law. I just want to tell my position now. And where I'm at in my life now is nowhere near where I was at that time. At that time, I was my life wasn't on track. I've lost things more than I've been with this license because of it. But since then, I found my life is living right now. I moved to another state, another county. Just on the board of Memphis up there. I worked over in I've been with something for about 2 years. I was incarcerated for this crime. I was there for my 17 months to be lost sentence for a 3-year sentence. I got out on good behavior. I went in there from day one of my life. I see frequent things in there, something to do. That's my problem. I've since been clean since 08. I don't deal with anything to do that type of life. This is my first time standing in front of people and clarify my situation. I mean, I coach kids football, coach baseball. I got 2 young girls. I had to do this, and to do that, I had to stand in front of people at the boys club. You know, I've been through this already. This is just another step for me to try to put this behind me. In the short time I got to sell cars, I outsold everybody there. That's kind of what I've done with my life. I mean, everything I do, I'll give it that all. Except for these restrictions that I've run into. I just like to ask the commission for a chance to better myself. This license will do that for me. Even though if I don't get this license, I still have a job there. And I will have a job, and I'm doing really well what I've done because I can't sell. But the sales part of it is kind of what I would like to do, what would benefit me and the company and my family the most, financially. And, it seems to be what I'm better at. I've been in sales all my life. Bought and sold timber for about 12 years. And when I moved to that area, I moved away from that type of work. And, I was recommended to jobs in Nissan. I was open in front about my past and what I had been through, and they hired me, but we didn't know at the time about the law that had been put in place since I think in 2002. So when I went there, I was thinking finally, somebody would give me a chance, and then they denied my application. That's why I'm here today. I'm just here to ask the commission for a chance to sell, and. That's kind of where I'm at. Thank you.
Any questions by commission members? Mr. King, generally we open this up. That's all right.
So, Mr. Jackson, I just have one from the dealership, from the manager of the dealership. I'd like to speak to you. Do you have drug testing at your facility? Yes. We do hair testing. So we go back to the next from what I understand. How long have you known me?
I've known Mr. Webb for a few years now. I would like to speak a little bit about his character. When we hired him on, open about everything that happened in his life. He was upfront, everything. Didn't try to hide anything. He let us know exactly what was going on. And I didn't understand exactly the laws when we gave him a license. Therefore, but we hired him to give him an opportunity because he presented himself as he had a goal set, he had a clear path on what he wanted to accomplish. So we gave him an opportunity to sell cars. We hired him in. He did phenomenal.
every customer we interact with really liked him. People left reviews online about him, about how they treated him, how he treated him. When we got back the rejection of his license, we set us back a little bit. We were trying to figure something because he demonstrated such good character, such enthusiasm, and such commitment to succeed that we kind of designed a position for him at the body shop to where he would praise red cars. He did a lot of things at the body shop and excelled and got a landing position really fast. We opened up a position at another store, so he was traveling between stores. And anything had to do with body shop, we go through him. Did a very good job. Well, we wanted to bring him back to our store because we hired him. We wanted him at our store because it just his desire and his drive is not common. He wants to do well. So we brought him back. We applied for we designed a position in our service platform as a service manager where he interacts with 150 people a day, just getting basic service things done. To kind of design a position for him. And he's excelled at that the past few months. We reapplied his license again. So us as a top 214 company, our mission are backing him. We spent money to hire an attorney to research this law because we believe fully in his ability to succeed. We believe that he can be a he's a great member of the community. He does a lot of good. I don't believe people should be judged on things they've done in the past. I agree with some of the laws that are in place to keep certain elements, certain people out of this position. I completely agree with it. Shane Webb is not the person that needs to be kept out of the position. He has demonstrated time and time again he just wants to be set, he wants to be good. And the light getting his license, don't think holding back. Automation as a company has a plan for him. Selling cars is kind of right here, but there is a lot of plans for him in his future. And we back him 100%. And that's why I'm not taking the time out of my goal to come down here to back him. We are just doing things to back him. And he is a person that definitely deserves this, without a doubt.
Thank you, sir. Any further questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve this license.
Commissioner Purcell moves to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Fox. Any discussion of the motion to grant the license? Hearing none, I'll call for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Trickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Bass?
Yes.
Commissioner Shaker?
Abstain.
Commissioner Shaker?
Abstain.
Commissioner Webb?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Commissioner Fox?
Yes.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Commissioner Fertile?
Yes.
Commissioner Parr?
Yes.
Commissioner Keck?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton? Yes. Chairman Robert?
Yes.
11 yes, 1 abstain.
Mr. Webb, congratulations. You'll be granted a salesperson's
I'd like to
license.
thank the commission. Really appreciate this. Thanks a lot.
Have a good career. Okay, Joseph A. Spellings, J&B Motors, Dyer, Tennessee. In the packet, it should have the reason for the denial, which is
Mr. Roberts, we have, here is Ms. Robin Ryan, her litigation attorney.
all right.
I believe she's going to go ahead and read some of this information regarding this application. I personally know.
Mrs. Spelling had a conviction in 2011. His probationary period ends on 15, and that would give an additional 5 years in 2020. The crime was counsel, transfer of options to a minor, and criminal court.
What was the transfer again, please, ma'am?
Transfer of opposite images to a minor and a criminal court.
that the internet-based, or is it,
It doesn't say.
Mr. Spellings, if you'd like to address the commission, and ladies, if you want to sit for a moment, we'll call on you in a moment. Don't need everyone standing up.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about what you did here.
I had with me my mother, the owner of J&B Motors, and lifelong friend, County Commissioner, Ms. Sandy Moss. Well, I'm originally from Dyer, grew up, lived and raised my whole life in Dyer. Graduated high school in 1999, did the county school, and then I was a graduate of the University of Tennessee at Martin, 2004, commissioned as an ROTC, and spent almost 10 years in the National Guard, Tennessee Army National Guard, until I got in this trouble, and I was discharged. I resigned my commission and discharged there with honorable discharge still. I was charged in 2009. It said 2 counts, but actually it was only 1 count of transfer of obscene material. I was not charged.
Speak up just a little bit, sir.
I said I was only charged with 1 count of obscene transfer of obscene material. It was internet-based.
Did you know the victim, who it was? Did you know who you were sending it to?
I thought I did, and no, sir, it was FBI.
But you intended it for a certain person?
Yes. Correct. I'm here today with my appeal, asking for a second chance. I know I made a mistake, and I've paid consequences and will continue to pay consequences from here on out. But I feel like I've turned my life around, and I need my sales license in order for me to better my life, continue to support myself, pay for my home, and that's right there in my hometown. My family base, I've got all my family support. I live within a mile of my brother, a mile of my parents, and I'm within 2 miles of the car dealership there also. I've had it with me. I don't know if you have it. There's a recommendation I had from my state representative, my probation officer, the mayor of Dyer, Mike Taylor from Taylor Automotive in Martin, and Ms. Sandy Moss. There's a recommendation I had with me. You want to review those?
What was the age of this minor?
14 at the time. There was never any, I never had any contact, never spoke to anyone or anything.
This minor was someone that you knew, you had an acquaintance with, or that you knew?
Correct.
Questions for Mr. Stone?
In that area, same town, same...
At the town, at the time I lived in Trenton, Tennessee.
Was it occurred in the same area?
Yes.
And your mom is the licensed dealer?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been licensed, man?
2 years. I'm not even sure. 2 years probably.
Are you there every day?
Every day.
It takes it.
Do you mind if I speak, or do you want to continue talking to me?
Let me see if there are any more questions for your son, and we'll address, let you address it. Any more questions for Mr. Spellings? Okay, ma'am, would you like to address the commission?
I'm the owner and the manager, and I've never said that he did nothing wrong. He told us that he did, and he has paid for it. He spent his time. He's still on probation. He being from a very small town, he's under much scrutiny and will continue to be, because you know how it is, everybody knows everybody. However, he has returned, he has worked there every day. Like I said, he is nearby. I'm there, his dad is there, his brother is a part owner, kind of, I guess you'd say. He has his license. It's a family thing, and we work together. And he chose to live nearby us. His probation officer has done everything. He's followed everything. We have letters of recommendation. All I'm saying is, I'm a retired teacher after 34 years, and I've seen a lot of my students make mistakes, but all of them need a second chance. They have to have something that they can fall back on. If they don't, where are they going to get a job? You know, if everybody keeps pulling the rug out from under them, they just have to have some way to prove themselves. Then I'm kind of thinking if they mess up again, they can, you know, I have that a lot.
Any questions for your wife? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Further comments or questions? And ma'am, would you like to very briefly address the commission?
I'm here as a character reference and also as a county commissioner from the district that he is in. I've known him all my life. He's always been the most responsible, hard-working. He doesn't know how not to work. When he was 10 years old, something like that, he was running a lawnmower business. He's always worked, always been responsible. Is a very responsible member of our community right now. And as a county commissioner, I'm well aware of how much we need the tax money that comes in from having this viable car dealership in our area. And he's contributed in a significant way. The dealership is, if Joey, with his personality and his sense of responsibility and work ethic, is allowed to do this, it's a win-win situation for our very small, financially defined community. Always been hardworking, always been responsible, good Christian young man. I can't think of anybody like that.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion on this?
I'll make the motion, we approve this license.
Second.
Commissioner Trickett made a motion to approve the license, seconded by Commissioner Shaker. Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Keck?
Yes.
Commissioner Farr?
Yes.
Commissioner Furley? Yes. Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Bass?
Yes.
Commissioner Shaker?
Yes.
Commissioner Webb? Yes. Commissioner Jackson? Yes. Commissioner Fox?
Yes.
Chairman Miller?
Yes.
12 yes.
Mr. Pelley, you'll be granted a license.
Yeah, thanks for that personal thing, already.
Gregory T. Scott, Scott's Auto Corporate Repair System. Excuse me. Which one, Mr. Scott?
The conviction for selling a controlled substance. Our record indicates that Mr. Scott's probation ends in 2014. Statute's given 5 years past that time, so the commission may, has a discretion to deny a license up until 2019.
Okay, and you are Mr. Scott, and you, sir?
We're both Mr. Scott. I'm the owner, I'm the dad.
Okay. Mr. Scott Senior, if you want to sit, we'll talk to Gregory. Gregory?
Yes, sir.
We'll talk to Gregory here just a little bit, and tell us the nature of your felony conviction, Mr. Scott.
I jotted something down because I'm a nervous wreck and I forget what to say.
You're welcome to.
I'm 36 years old, single father. At age 16, I began work at our car lot. All 20 years, my experience has been in car sales at Scott's Auto Country. Just want to say we're a reputable business in Paris and going on our 22nd year in business now. Have 3 kids. Past 2 years I've made a drastic lifestyle change. The judicial system has just awarded me custody of my 8 and 9-year-old boys, and also a 14-year-old daughter. My father is planning on retiring in April. For the past year I've been getting ready to take over the business. Ask for a second chance, I guess.
You had possession of a controlled substance. What was that substance?
Yes, sir. It was a prescription pill. And what happened was, I'm not by no means saying I wasn't wrong. Someone I went to school with, known all my life, called me and asked me if I could get him for some prescription pills and medicine, and I did. And he was working undercover. He's a well-known person, also on fire and stuff in Paris. And he was undercover, and I got arrested along with 63 other people in our county. He was trying to get himself out of some trouble. That's what it was. And again, I'm not saying I wasn't wrong, but it was.
How did you obtain the pills?
From someone else. He just called and asked if I could get something for him, and I knew somebody. I've had past problems with prescription pills, and that's why he would call me. I spent a year in a Christian rehab. That changed my life. I hate that this could affect our business. After 22 years, I'd like to see my dad be able to retire. Business also supports my sister, her husband, 4 kids, his family, and all my family.
Would you like for us to hear from your father?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Scott Sr., would you like to speak to the commission?
Yes, sir. I agree. He's had problems over the years, and he's come through a lot of things. And he's owned up to it by going. The judge in our community gave him the option of going to jail for 3 years for this felony conviction. And so we just simply asked the judge if we could get him in a Christian rehab. I thought it would be better than going to an institution like that. And the judge agreed to it. He spent a year in ministry over in East Tennessee at the Watson's Chapel Baptist Church. And I'm a Baptist pastor, too. I've been 4 years and retired 4 years from that. And I've been called back into a church now. I'm kind of serving in a church right now. And he's doing our music at the church, the sound at the church. And I've got all kinds of confidence in him now. He's doing great. To be awarded those 2 boys that was living with a mother that was really into bad pills. This is his ex-wife that was into bad pills, and we just went to court over that, and the judge awarded him the 2 boys to raise. And Greg is just really he's changed.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Scott or Mr. Scott?
Yeah. Mr. Scott, is this your signature on the application for salesperson license as president?
Yes. It's a small business. We incorporated it. I was told when we started the business.
I'm familiar with it.
Incorporated, and so I became the president of about 4 people.
not like when you drive along.
And, as to what this says about, you would be responsible for his actions. And if anything happened, you would see that it was in violation, that his license would be returned to the
Absolutely.
Any other questions? Mr. Pearl?
Frederick, there was 2 violations, is that correct?
It was a total 8 bills, 4 bills each time. It was the same person 2 times. I met him 2 different times.
One more question. Yes, Commissioner Bass.
You said it was a total of 8 pills.
Yes, sir.
What was the total cost of those pills?
I think they were $20 a pill. Might have been 15. It's been a few years ago now. A couple of years ago.
Further questions? Chair, I'd like to hear a motion either way on this, to grant or deny. That was Commissioner Clayton moved that we grant license.
Second.
Commissioner Murray, seconded. Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, Chair calls for a roll call vote.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett,
Yes.
Commissioner Murray,
Yes.
Commissioner Purtle,
Yes.
Commissioner Carr,
Yes.
Commissioner Keck,
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton, Commissioner Webb,
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fox,
Yes.
Chairman Roberts.
Yes.
12 yes.
Mr. Scott, you'll be granted a license to sell vehicles in the state of Tennessee. Congratulations.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jeremy Shane, anyone need a break? We're about a little past halfway. All right, Jeremy Shane Bingham, Auto Stars, Manchester, Tennessee. You're Mr. Bingham? Okay.
There was a conviction of theft over vandalism over $1,000, or indicating that the sentence ended in 2009, and plus 5 years is commission has the discretion to deny the license up to 2014.
It was theft over $1,000,
Correct.
in excess of $1,000. Mr. Bingham, would you describe your felony conviction to the commission?
I stole a four. Completely stupid. I mean, that's what I did.
We couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stole a four.
The other gentleman, if you'd like to have a seat while and then we'll call on you in a moment, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Bingham, tell us about your...
I just decided to take somebody's four-wheeler that wasn't mine. I stole it.
I'm sorry, you took what, sir?
A four-wheeler? ATV, yes, sir.
Did you, like a burglary?
No, it was on his front yard beside his house, and I walked up, got on it, and I hot-wired it and drove off on it. It's a dumb act. I had to pay the consequences for it.
Is there a title to be conveyed on a four-wheeler like that?
Sir?
Is there a title to be conveyed, or did you sell it without a title, I guess? Surely you did.
No, I didn't sell it. No, I just took it home, and I treated it like it was mine, basically.
Oh, you took it for yourself?
Yes, sir.
I just got off a long airplane ride. My ears are still popping. Any questions?
What's the vandalism part?
Vandalism for the four-wheeler for the miles accumulated on it and the damage I did to it, so I flipped it over by the time I stole it, so it was covered.
Did you make restitution?
Yes, I have to pay restitution.
Did you know the person that you took the four-wheeler from?
No. When I was in jail, I wrote him a letter apologizing. He wrote back, he told me, stated that it was kind of funny because he couldn't afford to pay for the four-wheeler anymore. So he's like, hey, no harm done, you know. He kind of did me a favor. He brought him back, and then it's completely crazy. It was done when it done.
Any more questions for Mr. Bingham?
So this was about 8 years ago?
Yes.
You haven't gotten any trouble since?
No.
Who did you bring with you, Mr. Bingham?
This is the co-owner of AutoStar.
Would you like to speak to the commission, sir?
Yeah, I would, please, thank you. Jeremy's worked for us as a mechanic for the last several months, and he's shown an aptitude. He seems to be trustworthy, and he's a hard worker. And we'd like to give him the opportunity to work as a salesman in addition to do mechanic work at our dealership. He was 18 years old when he committed this crime. Since then he's gone on to college and he got his mechanic's license. He's been married since then. He's stayed out of trouble. He's pretty much kept his nose clean, and we believe in him, both myself and my partner, co-owner, and we'd like to give him that shot.
Any questions?
Yes.
Mr. Bass.
This clarification. Your sentence was imposed in 2005.
Yes.
And it says for 2 years, is that correct?
Yes. Additional 2 years for the thing, the bench.
Total 4 years.
Yes, total 4 years. I did go in prison because I violated probation. I couldn't keep the job because when you ask your work from the factory that you gotta leave once a month and you're early to go see a probation officer, they get tired of it really fast. Believe it or not, it's extremely hard on people. And when I was in prison, the turnover rate of prison from parole violators was extremely high because nobody could keep jobs. Couldn't pay restitution, couldn't pay parole fees. And the turnover rate was ridiculous. And it's like, they said, if I remember correctly, 74% of parolees violate parole, not fine court, if I remember correctly.
Further questions? Is there a motion out there?
A motion to give him his license.
Commissioner Parr makes a motion to grant the license. Second by Commissioner Shaker. Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, Chair calls for roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Bass?
Yes.
Commissioner Shaker?
Yes.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Commissioner Turtle?
Yes.
Commissioner Carr?
Yes.
Commissioner Shack?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Fox?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson? Yes. Commissioner Webb?
Yes.
Commissioner Shaker?
Yes.
Chairman Roberts?
Yes.
12 yes.
Mr. Bingham, you'll be granted a license to sell vehicles in the state of Tennessee. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Charles A. Hardy, Darrell Walker, Honda Franklin. Hardy. Charles A. Hardy.
You got Larkin.
You got who?
Larkin. Jason Larkin.
We're on the agenda.
This is agenda, but I do see the file. Is Mr. Larkin here? Mr. Jason A. Larkin? Let's proceed with, this is Mr. Hardy.
Yes.
And you are Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Reason for denial is possession with intent to deliver marijuana. Comments from legal on the
Sentence ended in 2011. That's correct. Statutes, the commission has restrictions denied up until 2016.
All right. Mr. Hardy, would you like to address the commission? Who'd you bring with you, sir?
Who works for Darrell Walter Palmer, used car manager.
You're the used car manager, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would this gentleman be working under your supervision?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Hardy, go ahead and speak to the commission.
He's the person I initially interviewed with. I was convicted of felony possession of controlled substance in 2005. Served 6 years probation sentence. Never violated my probation. I've worked every day that I could in the interim, and for the last 5.5 years. Before I came to General Waltrip, I worked for a courier service based in Nashville. Worked very hard. Up until the time I was 41 years old, I'd always been single, never married with kids. And in 2010, I got married, had a little boy, and it's kind of funny how that changes your outlook on things and your responsibilities. So I wanted to better my life. The job that I was in, I had a great boss, loved the customers, and even though it was hard work, I liked it. But it was a dead-end job, and I just want to do better for my family, my wife and my kids. I also have a 9-year-old stepdaughter, and I just want to be a good provider. And I see this as an opportunity to do just that.
Like, any questions for Mr. Hardy?
Yes. The offense was delivering 70 pounds of marijuana. Were you working for someone else or for yourself?
I worked for somebody. It was basically a gopher.
So, in the vernacular of that business, you were a mule, right?
Yes.
Where were you employed at that time of your arrest?
At the time of the arrest, I was not employed at all.
More questions?
One of the people that you were delivering 70 pounds of marijuana off was delivering or were you the only person that called?
There were, I believe, 12 people on the indictment. The arrest actually took place April 14th, 23. It took 2 years almost to go through court because people were from out of state and wanted to bond it. I guess a superseded indictment, so things were to proceed with prosecution of ones who were present.
Your supervisor like to address? Hopefully, supervisor like to address the commission.
Well, Mr. Hardy came to us in August, told us almost verbatim what he told me. Like, tried better his life. He had a 2-year-old son, and he was honest on his application, and thought, well, everyone needs a chance. I ran it through, our corporation is headed out of North Carolina. We have about 100 stores. And they're very strict and really hire. And, but the general manager of my store also put in a good word. Everyone that Mr. Hardy was impressed that he felt like we wanted to help him. We got the letter. He had to take 2 weeks of Honda test on the internet before he could ever sell a car. So we had the letter before his last test. So he never got to sell a car. But the general manager of my store said, well, we'll give him the only thing we have is a porter's position out in the servicing. That's a young man's job. I got young guys out there running in that heat and cold in the winter. Mr. Hardy was there early every morning. He'd start very early. I'd come in, he'd be soaking wet. And with me and other employees, yeah, I got it. I'm only putting it to it out there without all the other young guys. And we're impressed with Mr. Hardy from the first day. That's why I'm here today. I'm hoping that get him in there and get him in the sales force. And they want a good outfit out there. Good reputation. We believe Mr. Hardy will get right.
Any questions? Chair will entertain a motion at this time. Motion is to approve.
Mr. Jackson, I second.
Mr. Jackson, second. Any discussion of the motion? Chair hears none. We'll have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Trickett?
Yes.
Mr. Bass?
Yes.
Mr. Shaker?
Yes.
Mr. Webb? Yes. Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Commissioner Purtle? Mr. Purtle? Yes. Commissioner Farr?
Yes.
Commissioner Keck?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton? Chairman Roberts?
Yes. Mr. Hardy, you'll be granted a license. Still be able. Thank you. Thank you. Michael R. Elgali. Am I close on that? Is it Mr. Elgali? Okay.
The conviction for the possession with intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine. I believe probation ends in 2015. And we don't want one.
I got felony battery.
Excuse me. I apologize. Give me a step back here. Who's up right now from
Mr. Elgali.
That's the one that's been looking at. Yes, sorry. This was a conviction of felony battery where the probation ended in 2009. Correct. Okay. 5 years past that time, my statute just did, the commission has the discretion to deny the license, which would be at 2014.
And sir, you're applying to sell at Hallmark Hyundai. Give us a description of your felony conviction. What is who did you battery? I guess you battered somebody. Who'd you batter?
It was, I went to a Halloween party, October 31st, from 2006. It was a work party. We went there, my ex-wife met me there. It was a great night. We had an awesome time. We actually, we just got married 2 months prior. We were supposed to go overseas on November 2nd. And we got home, after a little argument, they were called the cops. I was a little heated. The cops went to the house. I answered the door with an attitude. And, they took her to talk to her outside, and she was pregnant at the time. So one cop took her outside to talk to her, and the other cop was talking to her inside, and I was kind of short with him. And when she came back in, I was like, was just standing there, so I put my arms around her and gave her a hug, and I was rubbing her back. And I guess he wasn't too happy with me, so he was like, please take it home with what? And I was like, I kind of said the words that put me on the bay, and he didn't like it very much, put me in cuffs, and I got arrested for battery, and since she was pregnant, it's aggravated. In the state of Florida, I can do this to you, and it's an assault.
This was in Florida. This is your pregnant ex-wife.
She still live in Florida?
Yeah, she said, we're actually so friends, we're talking, she was surprised over what happened, and she actually rushed over to the police after I got arrested, and she called my lawyer up, and she told him, hey, look, nothing happened, and, when you get arrested for any kind of domestic battery, you're supposed to stay there overnight or a couple of days. I was out in 2 hours, but she didn't press any charges for nothing, and the state picked it up, and I had to fight it. But, I was pretty guilty for having happy with the officer, and that's my mistake. I've been in sales since 2005 in Florida. I came up here to help out families, and I was working for my Hyundai for almost a year now. The product specialist, and I kind of wanted to lessen the hours because my family needed my help, so I didn't want to cut up to the sales right away and improve myself working there. I was doing real well, and my manager came up to me and asked me if I wanted to take a position in sales and a floor manager. And I was like, okay, that was 4 or 5 months ago, and we applied for the position after night.
Any questions? And who did you bring with you, sir?
This is my GM.
Curtis Gallagher, GM, Palmer Hyundai.
How many minutes you referred to them?
No, sir. My aunt, she's not that much older than me. She was like a business to me. Her husband passed away not too long ago, and she has 2 daughters who are like little ones. And they're both in college, so I came up with a couple of financial.
How about the job from there?
Unfortunately, sir, that was our second mistake. She we found out after that she wasn't able to have or keep a pregnancy, but due to medical procedures and after that, she was blessed with 2 twins out of us. And I still talk to her every day, send me pictures all the time.
How long you been in the state of Tennessee?
November will be a year.
How long?
November will be a year.
Leslie, do you think we're getting a microphone? Are we getting this on the record? There's a microphone control with the gentleman here.
I can't indicate whether or not it's actually picking up certain volume. It's always helpful if it's closer, but
Just to be safe. Sure. Closer, because this is on the record. Okay, let's hear from your potential manager. Well, I guess he actually works for you now, is that right?
Yes.
He's just not selling.
He's I hired him on as a product specialist, and this is in an effort to continue training the sales staff. I have a policy of not hiring salespeople, but training with them. So keeping up with training has always been a kind of a challenge. He came to us for a sales pass, but I saw potential in him in the product knowledge from his experience with the Hyundai product. A few months ago, he came to me with the need of an increase in pay because he understands our process. He's helped train the salespeople in the process, product knowledge. I thought it'd be a good time to move him to sales. He's been a terrific employee. He's been an inspiration to a lot of the salespeople there. I'd really like to see him have the opportunity to sell cars, increase his pay.
Questions?
Commissioner Bass, have you met all the conditions of your probation?
Yes. I was, I think the conviction was on February 5th of 2007. I ended probation 2 years early, you know.
You met all the monetary costs involved.
Everything was done. Everything was done. I got a letter of promising to the state. I haven't really been in trouble for anything, really. Other than just one relationship.
Further questions? Okay, I'd like to hear a motion.
Commissioner Jackson, I motion that we grant the license.
Is Commissioner Jackson made the motion and Commissioner Pearl seconded. Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, Chair request roll call vote.
Commissioner Fox?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson? Yes. Commissioner Webb?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Bass?
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Commissioner Myrtle?
Yes.
Commissioner Carr?
Yes.
Commissioner Heck? Yes. Commissioner Clayton? Yes. Chairman Roberts?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, you can grant the license.
Thank you very much.
Carlos D. Britton, Freeland Superstore, Nashville, Tennessee.
This is the conviction for possession of distributed 5 kilograms of cocaine. We have here that the date of probation ends in 2015. With 5 years, the statute allows for about 5 years past that date with the commission of restriction to deny license. Get 2020.
Mr. Britton, who did you bring with you today, sir?
I brought Thomas Hunter, who is the used car manager for Freeman Chevrolet and the human resource director.
Welcome. If you two would like to have a seat while we hear from Mr. Britton this morning. You were, I had a little trouble hearing once again. I apologize to the commission and the audience. The conviction was selling cocaine.
Yes, I was convicted for possession for distribution of cocaine.
I'm sorry, sir.
Possession for distribution of cocaine.
Any questions for Mr. Britton?
Yeah.
Mr. Bass.
Mr. Bass, on the front of your application sheet here, it says, intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine. And in the judgment, it says possession with intent to distribute 500 grams or more of cocaine on 8/17/99, and then possession with intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine on 8/17/99, same day. Are these two different offenses?
They are the same day. Basically what had happened is that, which is a very long time ago, and I'm still embarrassed about it, I do want to apologize to the community for their indiscretion. I come from a God-fearing military family. I'm a native of Nashville. I attended David Lipscomb High School and O'Moore School of Design in Franklin. I received an 8-year sentence for this. The first day that I came home, I apologized before my church. I'm a lifelong member of Victory Church under Bishop Kenneth H. Dupree. I apologize to the church. I want to apologize to the community now. I had met some guys in the nightclub, started hanging out with them, when I was younger, and I was fascinated at their lifestyles, their cars, their things. They were drug dealers. I began to hang out with them, and later they offered me an opportunity to hold drugs for them in exchange for making money off of that. And I began to do that and make money off of it, and just didn't really look at what it was really going to cost me until later. By the time my family started noticing things and talking to me about it, I sort of tried to back up from it, but they didn't really make it that easy for me to do that, and so I ended up getting arrested on this charge, and and went to prison on that charge, and so that's basically has been that situation, and that's what had happened with the...
Getting back to the grams, was this a total of 505 grams?
I'm not exactly sure the exact amount. I would say yes. That was because I was arrested with more than one person. The charge was given to everyone. So, I mean, I won't oppose anything. I would say yes to whatever it is.
And how much would 505 grams be?
Is that in terms of dollars, Commissioner Bass, or?
The amount, pounds, whatever.
Those are two separate things, so it's 5 kilos.
No, I want to know how much. Would this be in ounces, pounds, 505
No,
grams?
kilograms. It would be maybe 10 kilograms.
2.2 pounds per kilogram.
And the monetary value?
$500,000.
You're saying, though, that everybody was lumped into one indictment.
Yes.
So you might not have been responsible for $500,000. Might have been
Yes, sir.
the aggregate of everything.
Yes, sir. We were all given the same charge because it's like a conspiracy thing, and so they give the charge to everybody.
How many people were charged?
300.
300 people?
Yes, sir. Which I didn't know all the 300 people, but they was more than what I was aware of that I had gotten associated with. There were people who were brought in I never heard of, never seen before in my life, but they were brought in from different places, like different states and things, and so they put everybody in a pile together. Unfortunately, yes, sir. 8 years.
You stayed out of trouble since you got out of jail?
Yes, ma'am. When I came home, since I came home, I worked at Coronado and Centurion Stone in Exteriors, and I worked there for 5 years, which I love the people there, they love me there, but there's a lot of travel involved with that job, and so I had another friend who suggested, hey, you would do good at selling cars. And so then, that's why I transitioned from Centurion, which is close to here, from here to going to, trying to go into the car industry.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes, sir.
One thing. You didn't personally talk with five at the time that you were arrested for these charges. You didn't have 500 grams of cocaine in your possession.
No, sir.
You said no. Those were a combination of all the 300 other people that were involved.
They charge everybody together in a conspiracy. You all get charged. So, however, whether it's phone conversations or whatever it is, everybody gets charged together. Whatever is involved.
So everyone was charged 500.
Yes, sir.
Was this a multi-state operation or just mainly?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
How far did it go out?
South America, I think.
Really?
I think so. It was far beyond what I could conceive, but it was people who were brought in from other countries. Well, from South America and places like that. So it actually was a large operation, announced to me here in Nashville, but it was on a big scale. So it really just shipwrecked and just shamed my family. And my dad is a retired Air Force Colonel Lieutenant, and it's just, I just still care of that. Even now, even though I'm productive and things like that, but they had greater expectations and believed in me more than that. And so for me to have the gifts and talents that I have, the opportunities that I was given, and to, like I said, you can make a mistake, but to make one that significant, to cost you so much when you have so much going for you. So I still have to listen to it. I haven't been able to,
So,
What did you say was the most,
maybe 5 to 10 kilograms, depending on what they get me to hold. So they will bring it to my house, or give it to me to hold, and I would hold it for them there. And then they would come and pick up a certain amount and leave and go do whatever and pay me a portion of that.
so you're saying,
I guess I don't really know how to. Yeah, I guess I'm not. I know what I was holding, but as far as how technical to answer that, I don't know. I would say yes. I'm not going to deny anything. I would say yes to. If that's accurate, then I'll say yes.
I'd like to make a recommendation to approve the license.
Second.
I need a motion.
A motion to approve. That's right.
Okay. We have a motion to approve, and I heard a second somewhere.
Commissioner Jackson.
Commissioner Jackson, a second. Any discussion of your... Well, motion's in the discussion, I guess, except you can discuss the motion. Yes, that's right. Am I right? Tony? You can discuss the motion. I guess that could be part of the discussion.
I'd like to
Why don't you-
thank her for has to say about it. What for the investigation that she done.
Is that in order?
I think there needs to be a discussion,
Of the motion.
About the motion. And
Well-
have a vote on it, but the motion's already been made.
Yeah. And I think that,
I retract the motion. Is that possible?
well, we've already gone down that. No. We did down that road before. Okay, let's discuss the motion. Let's stick with what we,
You can also table it.
you can discuss it or table it, or table it.
Or vote. I don't make a new thing.
Well, I'm probably going to call for a vote. But let's see if there's any discussion on the motion. Okay, the chair calls for a vote. No problem.
Commissioner Fox?
Yes.
One second. Let's restate the motion. The motion was to grant a license. Okay. Is your vote yes, Mr. Fox?
Mr. Fox voted yes for granting. Commissioner Jackson? Yes. Commissioner Webb?
Yes.
Commissioner Shaker?
Yes.
Commissioner Bass?
yes.
Commissioner Trickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Commissioner Pearl?
Yes.
Commissioner Carr?
Yes.
Commissioner Cat? Yes. Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
Chairman Roberts?
Yes. Mr. Britton, you'll be granted a license. Congratulations, sir.
I thank everyone here and appreciate it.
All right. Break anymore. I would say that we are... Is Mr. Ferguson out here?
Leadership, he has been requested to be off the table.
Okay. We also have a question. I want to bring this up real quickly. I think it was Mr. Larkin. The way I interpret this is, since it was not on the agenda, and we voted on the agenda, we can't do action on Mr. Larkin. So, legal, I think I would...
No, unless you want to have a motion to amend your agenda, to place him on there, but it seems that he didn't show up today. I don't see that it would do.
Since that applicant's not here, I don't see the point of doing that. So, I just want to state that since it's not on the agenda, we will not take action today on Mr. Larkin. All right. Excuse me? No, we did not vote. And I didn't ask for a vote, and wouldn't entertain one because it's not on the agenda. I'd be getting off the agenda as the commissioner. So, shows back up, I guess he can come in at a later time. Director's report.
First 3 pages you have in your file is the disciplinary action taken for the month of July, August, and September. You see that about 90% of the action is taken against temporary tags. Either the law is not being available, the law is not being kept right, or issuing too many tags for one consumer. Find several instances of unlicensed activity, and a few of business license hours not posted or open title. Most of the actions we're taking these days are on temp tag law violations. Turn over to the page where it speaks to the numbers of licensing since July. Our records reflect the 51 decrease in the dealer body and a -16 in applications in process. So there's quite a few people not renewing their license and not as many people applying. Historically, most of the applications come in the spring, summer, and fall. We don't get so excited as we do in the spring, that's why. The auctions have remained stable. There are 2 more distributors and manufacturers, 19 more representatives since July. And the big number is 424 more salespersons licensed in July. And for the year, there's been 1,100 salespersons licensed since April. For the last 6 months, there's a lot of people going into that class and getting licensed. RV dealers stayed the same. RV manufacturers went down 1, and we had 7 show permits issued for the quarter. Other than that, things are running pretty well.
Any questions for the director about his report? Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the director's report?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Creighton moved to approve, and Mr. Webb second. We'll do this by voice vote. Those in favor of approving the director's report. Those who approve the motion to approve the director's report, say aye. Aye. Those that oppose, say no. Hearing none, that's approved. Legal report.
Mr. Chairman, if you would, I'd like to start off the legal report by letting the commissioners know that I had an unusual request in the past 2 weeks from one of the respondents. One of the motor vehicle dealers here in Tennessee. Is Mr. Travis here? I would like Mr. Travis to be able, he's an attorney for the respondent, to be able to address the commission on an issue that he has. And it only seems that the issue that he has, the only appropriate way for it to be settled is with the commission to make a determination. Specifically, Mr. Travis will come forward and would like to discuss a dispute that he has with his client, who sent in a signed consent order and a check for the amount of $39,000. Definitely, he indicated to me, called my office and said it's in dispute as to whether or not there was an authorized payment to be made by the signing of the check. I would like Mr. Travis to be able to give his statement as to this check, and he would make a statement, and then I would also like to make a statement of the facts regarding this check. And just as a preface to the entire discussion, if a check comes into the Motor Vehicle Commission, it automatically goes to the building next door to the cashier's gate, and that check is taken in cash, but it's actually deposited. So if someone later comes back to us and makes an indication about, I have an issue with my check, there's nothing that we know to do to fix that. The only way that we believe that a check could ever be returned, and that's not necessarily what I'm arguing for here, the only way it could be returned is for the commission to request the administration to return a check to somebody who has made payment.
Now, was this, this was a fine?
Mr. Travis, I believe, can make, yes, it was a civil penalty, and I think Mr. Travis can.
And it went through legal review?
Yes.
And it was voted, it was approved and by full commission. I'm just trying to get a path here.
Yes.
And so that's all approved action.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Travis?
Thank you, members of the Commission. Bob Travis of the Wilson County Bar. Let me start out by, before I get into this specific issue, a procedural issue that not only involves this case but other cases. It's my understanding when an investigator goes out and inspects a dealership, and if he finds citations, he writes the citation up. A few days later, the staff of the Motor Vehicle Commission sends out an agreed citation. And then if that is not answered, then at some later time, the case goes to legal counsel, and then a consent order is sent out. The problem as an attorney that I have in advising my clients is both in the agreed citation and in the consent order, although it may tell you that you violated the temporary tag log, there is a lump sum figure, whether it be the agreed citation or the civil penalty. There is no explanation as to how either the staff or the Motor Vehicle Commission or the legal staff arrived at this figure. Now, since I've learned that y'all have adopted some kind of schedule, but as an attorney, I cannot advise my client whether or not to accept this or dispute it without some better explanation as to how you arrive at this figure. So I would like for the commission maybe to look at that. Maybe there can be a separate letter of explanation. I know that the statute allows you up to $5,000 a day, but when you get just a lump sum figure, I can't tell how that was computed. So, and that's what kind of leads up to this issue that we have here with Tennessee Imports. This is a case of first impression. I talked with Mr. Pugh about it, and I'll try to give you, because these dates are very important, I'll try to give you, without going into the actual facts of the case, but this is what happened. There was an inspection that was made at Tennessee Imports on January the 20th of 2012. There was some alleged violations. There was an agreed citation sent out by the Motor Vehicle Commission dated January the 27th, in which they offered to settle this matter for $39,000. Tennessee Imports tried, they contacted the commission. I think they spoke with several people that are in the office. They sent in some requested documents in order to try to settle this matter. And I think they did that in March. I didn't come on board in this case until April, and I knew what was going on. The owner of Tennessee Imports, Mr. Muhammad Nazimi, has had some major health problems. At the time, I was dealing with Ms. Keelan Baird as the attorney. And so, after I got involved in the case, and reviewed the initial citation, I asked her to give me a breakdown as to how you came up with this $39,000 figure. I've never gotten that. So there's no way that I can explain to my client how the commission came up with this figure. As a result of that, on June the 29th, I wrote Ms. Baird a letter respectfully declining to pay that civil penalty of $39,000 and requesting a formal hearing. It's my general practice within 30 days when I don't hear from adverse counsel, I call them up. So on July the 23rd, I called Ms. Baird up and said, what about my letter of June 29th? She went to the file and said, I don't see it. I got this letter. I said, fine, I'll fax it to you today, which I did. And on June the 29th, we requested an administrative hearing. Unbeknownst to me, and she didn't tell me on the 23rd of July when I faxed her this letter, on July the 16th, legal counsel had sent Tennessee Imports a consent order for the same amount. And again, the consent order doesn't give you a breakdown or tell you how they came up with the $39,000. As a result, and me and Ms. Keeling had several conversations back and forth about this. She even knew that my client had some serious health problems because it's in the consent order of July the 16th. The next phone call I get is August the 16th from Ms. Keeling saying, Bob, what's going on? We've got a check here from Tennessee Imports and a signed order. I said, Keeling, I don't know what's going on. I know my client's been sick, but I don't know what's going on. Let me get down to the bottom of this. I thought that the check was going to be held, but it wasn't. It was deposited that day. It took me about 3 days to get in touch with my client, but prior to then, I called the office manager, who's the one that actually signed this check and signed the consent order, and I said, is Mr. Mazzini in his right mind? He said, no, he's not. He said, I'm just doing what he told me to do. So I'm here before the court, before the commission today, and I was hoping that Mr. Mazzini could be here, but he can't. He's still got some serious health problems. But at this point, and based on my original letter, and not knowing that there was a consent order sent, I'm asking the commission to refund that $39,000 because we still want an administrative hearing. Now, somewhere along the way, we might work it out. But it all goes back to the problem of trying to be able to adequately advise my client as to how you come up with this figure. And this is not the first case. I've got 3 other cases before the commission, and in each one of those cases I've asked, how did you come up with this figure? I've still not got an explanation.
Mr. Terrence, I don't believe those are relevant.
Well, it shows the pattern, though. So that's my plea.
Commission members, if I could kind of maybe amend some of the dates that they have. I think, for the most part, I agree with Mr. Travis on the date of the inspection. There is an agreed citation that's given out by the staff. That came out in June. The end of June, it went to his client with an agreed citation for $39,000. In that matter, there was a letter sent from the attorney of Tennessee Imports to the legal department declining to pay that, and that was brought to the commission in July. That was on the July legal report. And in July, the commission authorized the consent order for the $39,000, the original agreed citation. And then the legal department did send out a consent order to the respondent. I believe we have it as July 10th.
And I've got a different document here because it says certified mail July 16th.
Okay, well, July 16th. It's not that's probably the date that it was picked up.
No, that's the date of the letter.
And then, even if it was October 16th, we received from Mr. Travis a fax on July 23rd that says, let me to get this.
Well, first of all, council didn't receive that letter. He wasn't here. It was Ms. Keeling there that received it, because it was addressed to her.
All right, for
Since on July 20,
For point of order here, what I'm hearing is a request to get the $39,000 check back and a formal hearing.
Yes.
So there are two requests here, although the formal hearing just came up. It started out, the request was to get the check back.
Well, the letter speaks for itself, dated June the 29th, where I requested the formal hearing.
and a formal hearing has to be one that the commission authorizes for a formal hearing to be done, where we file a notice of hearing charges against the respondent at the Secretary of State's office, and then we would put it on the calendar for a formal hearing. Generally, when respondents request a formal hearing, they say, I request a formal hearing. We have usually sent out at that point in time the consent order, which is an attempt to settle the matter for a certain amount. When it's sent out on an agreed citation, it's sent out and then it comes to the commission if it's not paid. And that's where the commission authorizes the consent order, which is just a negotiated, we would like to settle this matter for this certain amount. And at some point in time, we have respondents who say, well, I request a formal hearing. Well, if the only attempt that we make is the consent order and we have nothing else than that, then generally there's not a formal hearing scheduled until we determine to make a filing for a notice of hearing of charges. So it's not automatic at that point in time. It's just on the request. It must be filed first.
Let me just give you an explanation of the hearing dates so you know what we're about. The hearings are due between the attorney and staff attorney and I make a determination based on the severity of the allegation and the date of that claim. So it's a line item. Right now, I've got about 25 to 30 cases before the commission. You all have agreed to hear 2 more days from the year, so my hope is to get about 10 to 12 cases per week. So it'll be a couple years before the date is because of the dynamics of
Mr. Chairman, if I might, one other important point. I didn't know that this was coming up in the July meeting. I never had any notice about, I never got a copy of the consent order.
Well, and if I may speak, Mr. Chairman, the consent order doesn't come out at the July meeting. It comes out after the July meeting. All agreed citations, when they're given, they generally go to a meeting. And all the meetings are made public. They're noticed out for the community to come to. So they're there and able to actually listen up for their complaint that's on the docket. So, but what I didn't get to finish is that the point that I was trying to make is that Mr. Travis, on July 23rd, we received a fax cover sheet from you. It says encloses the letter. It was to Keeling Baird, counsel at the time. Says it encloses the letter that you said.
You never read it.
It was never received in Tennessee Auto Imports. This letter also applies to the consent order, which, with your cover letter, applied or dated, was that July 16th?
Yes.
So on July 23rd, you yourself knew that this consent order had been sent to your client. Your client knew it was outstanding. And then in August, there is a payment that was received in the building next door for $39,000 that does not come to our office at first. So it seems to me that if there's a breakdown in communication, it's not with the Motor Vehicle Commission, it's between yourself and your client, because at some point in time after July 23rd, a payment was made, where you knew the consent order was outstanding, and at that point in time, you could have stopped your client. And the consent order that we have was signed by the office manager, and that office manager is the same person who signed the last consent order that was sent out by the commission. It also happens to be the person who is on the most recent surety bond for the company, and they're also the person who signed for the annual sales report. So I don't see how where the argument goes as to why either someone didn't know, that you yourself didn't know that the consent order was outstanding to advise your client, because on July 23rd you knew, And then secondly, it seems that the manager here has always been an authorized payer for these types of matters.
Let me weigh in on this. On the procedural side of this, the Motor Vehicle Commission voted to fine this respondent $39,000 civil penalty, and it's been paid. So that's the motion, that's on the record, and there's not any way sitting here today for me to say unwind that, or for this commission to say unwind that. That's been done. The second part of this is whether or not the staff didn't do its job in communicating with Mr. Travis's office on explanations of this $39,000 fine. Well, another part of that is that this is all on the record. This is all public record. It's gone through legal review, and legal review is pretty specific as to this. And that's been voted on. The other part of this, as I see it, I've seen this happen. I'm sure it's happened to many attorneys where the client will settle outside of counsel's recommendations or advice. Sometimes people just, that's enough, and they settle things. I've seen that happen in the business world. So, there's as much requirement there's as much responsibility, I should say, for Mr. Travis's client to adhere to his recommendations. So I don't see that there's any calling for a discussion of unwinding this. Now, the formal hearing option is always there. Is that correct?
I think, I guess, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Travis is looking for the motion one way or the other to refund that $39,000 civil penalty, where it would be a refund and then authorize what he requests is a formal hearing on the matter in front of the full commission.
Well, and that's my point. What the commission would be doing is voting to unwind its previous motion. Now, I call the question: is that what the commission wants to do?
Let me ask Chairman this: would it help whether or not, if you might take this under consideration, and I'll get some medical proof or affidavit? I think the issue here is whether or not Mr. Nazemi was in his right mind.
Well, let me say this, and I just say this from experience with the formal hearings I've been through. That speaks to a finding of facts, and the only time that the commission deals with finding of fact is in a formal hearing. Is my understanding of procedures. I can't predict what the commission would do in the event that you brought your client's medical records in. I think you have your client certainly has the right to do that in a formal hearing. But I think that's the only way to do it. Am I right? If this is going to be a finding of fact, which is the way I see it, am I getting the two convoluted?
Yeah, I think what he wants, Mr. Chairman, is to have and I may just be repeating myself, is to have a motion either to a motion basically to allow for a refund of the $39,000, which would basically just say, we're going to give your check back. You still have an outstanding consent order that can go back and be negotiated with him and his client, and either paid again, or if he doesn't pay, we could file formal charges for a formal hearing.
Request formal hearing.
Yes, request a formal hearing.
I think,
I mean, that's the only way that I know that this,
I think I have
that anything could be done.
yeah, well, I think the chair is pretty clear on that. Again, we would have to, the commission would have to entertain unwinding the motion, because the motion was for this to be paid. And now, it doesn't mean it can't go to a formal hearing, is that correct?
That's what I'm uncertain about. Once you accepted that check, is the consent order final? See, that's the problem.
The issue is, I guess this is why he's here today.
I think that my client should still have his day before the commission.
Okay, let me refer to our counsel then on your question. And the question is that final? So one of our legal counsel, please state on the record which way that is.
The consent order specifically has language at the end of it that says that this consent order is not final unless approved by the commission.
That's been done.
I don't know if it has or not.
We do that, yes, we do that, yes.
So yes, it says, furthermore, this consent order shall have no force and effect unless accepted by the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission.
And what date was it accepted?
It was 13 August is the date that it was dated. So it basically is stating that this consent order must first be accepted by the commission, and the question was whether or not the check being cashed over in the cashier's office prior to it coming to anyone else's office is the correct acceptance by the commission. Given that there was possibly some confusion, that's why Mr. Travis was allowed to come before the commission today to make an argument that it be refunded, and the only way that I can see that it could be is if the commission did not accept that consent order.
And, Mr. Chairman, I wouldn't have known about this at all if it hadn't been a courtesy call from Miss Baird, because she knew something was wrong. She called me and said, what's going on? And I thought she was going to hold the check in order for me to get with my client and find out what was going on, and then I found out it was deposited.
Well, in reality, no one in the legal department sees any of the checks. They go straight to the cashier's office. All the mail goes to the other building. The only thing that we saw was after the check was paid. We have a copy of the check that was cashed.
I would have to think that staff and the commission, to look at this, would consider the matter closed if we got the check. I see this a little bit as trying to put toothpaste back in the tube. However, again, let me just, if there is no motion to rescind the $39,000 consent order, then the prior motion, the prior action stands. It doesn't change. So let's get this part cleared up. I think is the way to do this. Because am I hearing any discussion or any motions to return the $39,000 check paid via the consent order? Okay, hearing none, that matter is over. Now, as far as the formal hearing goes, that was the second part of this, am I right? Am I on track?
Correct.
Okay. That goes back to the normal staff procedure. I think your client has the right to a formal hearing. And our counsel's waving at me.
No, the issue is the consent order. Once accepted, the consent order, they waive all rights to formal hearing and all administrative processes, which is the issue that...
I missed that part. Would you read that in for us somewhere so we have that? The commission here as part of it. No. What we're going to hear from is that once the consent order is issued and the fine is paid, then the request for a formal hearing is dropped.
Yes, I'll read it. It says that which was signed by Mr. Abbasi from the respondent, Tennessee Imports, Tennessee Auto, Tennessee Motor, Tennessee Imports Inc. Says, furthermore, respondent expressly waives all further procedural steps, including opportunity for hearing pursuant to the Uniform Administrative Procedures Act, and expressly waives all rights to seek judicial review of or otherwise challenge or contest the validity of this consent order in order to enter into this proposed consent order. Furthermore, the respondent acknowledges his understanding that he has the right to a hearing under the Uniform Administrative Procedures Act, but that they hereby waive that right in order to enter into the proposed consent order.
Questions from legal counsel? I interpret that as the right for a formal hearing has been waived with the consent order and payment of fine. No discussions, no motions.
Just an observation from Mr. Jackson. I mean, what the attorney is asking this commission to do, any other one that we find and they pay the fine, come back in and do the same thing. We're starting something that, in my opinion, and I think that's what the legal counsel are telling us, we've done what we're supposed to have done under the motor vehicle law and according to the legal counsel. And I think it'll be a disaster if we overturn something that we've already done according to the motor vehicle laws and everything. Because everybody else will come back later and say, oh, wait a minute, you allowed such and such to have a formal hearing after he paid his fine, why not me now? That's the water we're treading now. And I think based on what the attorney has read to us, is that once their clients sign that agreement and forfeit all the right for a hearing, that's it.
Any other comments? I don't hear any recommendations for action, so we are...
None being said, then Mr. Commissioner, still have more business under the legal report to do.
We're going to get to that. I was going to wind this item up. Ms. Travis, the commission didn't take any action, sir. Thank you. Okay. Continue with the legal report, please.
Mr. Chairman, the legal review committee met earlier this morning with the legal report. There was amendments that were made to the legal report that we have here. Minor amendments. Generally, we would entertain a motion to accept the legal report with those amendments in it.
Mr. Jackson, so moved on your motion.
Commissioner Jackson moves to approve, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer. All those in favor of approving the legal report, say aye.
Aye.
Opposition, say no. That's approved. Does that conclude the...
That does conclude. There's one other thing under the new business that we'll get to that I have, but that does conclude the...
I might do an intro for you on that new business. Okay, seeing no old business, we will move to new business, and Mr. Grandorf has a procedural situation that I endorse a study of to try to expedite and be more fair and more efficient in our handling of some of the salesperson applications. We currently, the process that we have, we're doing most of the due diligence in front of the commission. By hearing the testimony of the salespeople on each and every appeal, and maybe a dealer license too, we wind up doing due diligence and the legal staff gets left out of the loop. So we have some procedures that are in place. We might have passed over an opportunity to give more responsibility to the staff in some of these matters concerning salesperson licenses and lighten the workload on the commission. So that's properly said. Mr. Mayor, would you like to explain.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Commissioners, currently there's a policy that we have in place from 2007, which was actually authored by Mr. Merkel, who's sitting in the audience, who was previously the attorney for the Motor Vehicle Commission, regarding denials of application licenses wherein the applicant has been convicted of crime of moral turpitude, which is what our statute says. It says crime of moral turpitude. The current policy is that the administration requires the administration to deny all applications where they have been convicted of a felony. Now, a felony is not the same as a crime of moral turpitude. However, the administration is required to deny those, to allow them to come in front of the commission. And in front of the commission, then you have the discretion to deny those applications of those felonies where they have been convicted of crimes of moral turpitude. So, the difficulty is that, and Mr. King came up here today and gave a very quick and very good statement that the crimes of moral turpitude are not easily defined under Tennessee law. And the definition that is under Tennessee law for moral turpitude is nearly 100 years old. That's been utilized. And it is a very old definition, and the Tennessee Supreme Court itself has actually said in cases that determining this definition is inherently difficult. And there are some cases under Tennessee law that does spell out certain crimes that are crimes of moral turpitude. And it does spell out, in limited circumstances, some crimes that are not crimes of moral turpitude. What I would like to do is have a study where we can update this policy so that those crimes under Tennessee law that do involve moral turpitude are, and those crimes that are under Tennessee law that are stated that do not involve moral turpitude, can be put into a policy to allow the administration a more effective way of denying and approving licenses when they come across their desk. Just so that it's not, just so it can add a little bit of clarity, so that at some point in time you may have less of these licenses denied before you, that Mr. Strickland and his staff can go ahead and approve some of those licenses prior to them getting to you, because under Tennessee law, they would not be crimes of moral turpitude. In all reality, they should be approved, just to help that.
Any questions about this?
Is the intent of that to establish what's called moral turpitude?
Yes, that would be a study I would bring a study to a committee to be able to look and see what I have done and to approve that and recommend that the commission make it a policy to utilize that. And it would be very limited circumstances. It would just be for what currently I'd like to do a study what Tennessee law has in place currently right now, so that we can update that policy and then look further to see if we can be giving more guidance on what additional information.
As part of this process of developing a process, what I would like to do is to appoint a committee to study this with Tony, and we're the body that has to deal with these things and deal with the process, so we need to be involved. And what I'd like to ask the commission to do is to allow the chair to appoint a committee made up of the chairs of the 4 subcommittees that we have to study this, and hopefully we'll have something for the full commission to vote as on policy at the January meeting. So, is that stated all right?
Yes, sir.
So, I won't make the motion myself, but if the commission would make a motion that the chair appoint this committee to study and develop a process along with legal.
Would that include what the salesman should come back and this committee should have for it when making a decision?
Yes. That's my understanding. It will be a process where the commission will do less hearing of the case from the ground up, the details, and yet be fair to the person making the appeal and moral turpitude be left up to the interpretation of our legal counsel.
And then also, just some input. You know, our staff work hard, and they only follow what the law says. And then every case we had today, we overturned what the staff had provided to us. And based on that law, and I think it's an excellent opportunity for us to form a committee to review exactly what does the law say in the state of Tennessee for the more interpretive. So when the staff have our request to come in, they can look at the same thing that we'll be required to look at and make a decision. So it won't make it seem as though that our staff is really not up to par, because we overturning most of the denials that they denied based on what the law is saying. So I think it'll really make the commission look the way we're supposed to look at addressing these issues.
That's the way I feel too, and I think the staff does. It would still be fair, and yet get the staff more involved, so we don't have to see every little detail of every. And I don't mean to belittle anybody's detail, but somebody slapped somebody. Okay, motion.
The chair puts together the committee with the help of the staff.
I'll second that one.
Okay, who seconded? Okay. Any discussion of the motion to allow the chair to appoint this committee to study the process? Okay.
Discussion, Chairman Roberts.
Yes.
Are we going to allow the executive director and legal counsel or someone else that this committee may come up with to decide that maybe that committee can grant a license? Like, we had a gentleman up here today that sold 8 pills. And then we had a gentleman up here that spent 8 or 10 years in a federal prison. We approved his license, and I think he did the right thing. But, you know, there is a difference, and one of them does involve crime of moral purpose. And the 8 pills did. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Well, we will still hear cases. There will still be appeals that the staff will deny. Or there will still be licenses that they'll deny, and there will still be appeals. I think what the staff wants to do, and what I encourage is a process where the obvious ones can be like the guy that the battery, the guy that slapped his wife. He didn't slap her. I think he said he hugged her. Anyway, you know, some of these things are just not moral turpitude, and I don't want to get into it.
And 8 pills.
It's just not.
And I guess that's the difficulty of where we sit, that we're trying to, that the commission itself can always go back and say, this is more turpitude, this is not, this is not. But once you say it as a commission together, that is it. That's what you should go by in the future. We just want to be able to screen those things out, that when Mr. Scribbling will bring it to me and say, Tony, what do you think about this? And I'll say, well, it doesn't look like moral turpitude. Well, the policy currently in place that even that when it's a felony, he has to deny it, and then it comes to you. Yeah. Even though he and I may know that it's already not a crime of moral turpitude, this policy is just in place. It just needs to be updated so that it's more flexible, so that if it's a felony but it's not moral turpitude, he can approve it on his level and it doesn't have to come before the commission.
I think part of the concern that we should consider if we don't do something like this, we as commission members don't think we should interpret what moral turpitude is, because it's a legal term, and we're not really qualified, and we need for legal to look at these things and make recommendations.
The commission,
it's kind of the unspoken.
If I could, Mr. Chairman, the commission can define moral turpitude if it would like. It has the ability to do that. This commission has the ability to make determinations on your statutes. You can read those statutes and as a commission make that determination. The issue with moral turpitude is that there's an indefinite number of crimes out there that are listed not only in our state but other states, federal crimes. And to be able to list all of those would be very difficult. So I just want to shore up and find those that in Tennessee have been determined already by the court system to be crimes of moral turpitude or not moral turpitude, and where they're not moral turpitude, let Mr. Strickland go ahead and be able to approve those in the administration, and then those crimes that are moral turpitude, I can give the commissioner better advice when they come forward to say, well, this is a crime of moral turpitude under Tennessee law. You have the discretion not issue the license.
Okay, any more discussion of the motion? And to restate the motion, it is to allow the chair to appoint a special committee to study the process of salesperson's application review. Okay, just by voice vote, is that appropriate? For those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposition, say no. Hearing none, the motion carries. All right, Director Stribling, I think the next thing we have is a calendar for 2013.
That's right. All of us have in front of us a calendar for 2013 that needs adoption today. The dates that are on there, the rooms have been secured. This room has got so we have to look way out in the future to be able to lock this room down for a meeting. So you'll notice in January, April, July, and October we have a two-day meeting scheduled, each of those regular quarterly meetings. The second day of each will be a formal hearing. You'll also notice that one day in March, one day in September is on the calendar. Those days are exclusive for a formal hearing. You heard Ms. Ryan, our litigator, mention how many were backlogged. You know, even though you all granted the administrative law judge to see everything to Bob's revocation and suspension, we've got several of those. So until we act, in most instances, those dealers are still moving right along without any
If we were to hear fewer appeals of salesperson's licenses, would that allow us to work in the formal hearing?
Let me address that if I may.
Please.
When you do a formal hearing, it is for the entire day. And that's because we're hearing if their license office for the entire day. So I can't do a half-day hearing and guarantee that even if you gave it to me, I can't guarantee I can find one of those for sure.
It was a good try, wasn't it? Please look over those dates very quickly.
Right, the single date for formal hearing.
April 15th, income tax return. Anybody go to the last minute like I said?
Got so much money.
Sign it for the mail.
I got both of them. Yeah. Is that one okay? All right. Is there a motion to approve the calendar?
Commissioner Jackson, motion to approve.
Is there a second? Who's second? Mr. Clayton, second. Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Mr. Clayton, motion to approve the calendar for 2013. By voice vote, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Thank you. We have a calendar. What else, Director Stribling?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. I can have our two board members.
Certainly is.
I know we're both kind of riding high race. We don't know how, we know how, we don't know how to get. Leave it alone.
You jump on the ride. Okay. Any comments about fellow commissioners? If not, I'd like to hear a motion to adjourn.
Sunday.
All right. By voice vote, aye to adjourn. Aye. Anybody wants to stay here a little longer? Thank you.
Hit the gavel. Hey, Leslie, we leaving these here in Detroit?
Right back.